Hey, welcome to the Geeks Attic. Guys, today I'm going to watch Ghostbusters. We can hang out. Hope you pull up the film as well. We can talk about it and, just hang out for a while. Now, I've got Ghostbusters pulled up on my computer. I'm about to hit play in 3, 2, 1. And it's starting. Now, in my opinion, this is the greatest movie ever made. So I don't think that's an actual opinion, that's a fact. I'm going to say Ghostbusters is the greatest movie ever made, and that's a fact. And if you disagree with that, you're wrong. I'm actually wearing a Ghostbusters shirt right now. We have the opening shot at the library, the New York City Library. Now, unlike Star Wars has a big fandom, okay? The Ghostbusters fandom is pretty big as well. Now, did you start the film? Yes, Dave, I just started it. We're in the library right now. We've got the library lady. She's about to go down in the basement right now to go put some books on the shelf. So I'm at the 1 minute, 5 second mark. All right, you synced up. Awesome. Thanks for joining. I was just saying, this is the greatest movie ever made. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring this up. This is my this belongs to my 5-year-old. Actually made a pair, but I didn't bring them down. Some of the goggles are actually too tight for me. I can't put them on. I should do so. Now, I first saw this movie when I was maybe 2. And I've been in love with it ever since. I never saw the new one. Had no interest in it. But this Afterlife that's coming out this year, I'm pretty excited for it. So you get that. This thing's not going to hold on my head. We got library cards spilling out everywhere in the hallway. Hopefully that fits. So, Dave, I remember you said you had seen Ghostbusters in theaters, right? Didn't you say you were age 11 or so? That's from his grandma. Yeah, that's right. You were 11. Hello, Jacob. Welcome. Watching Ghostbusters tonight. You know, I got really lucky is that my kids are obsessed with Ghostbusters. I got the 2 boys are. We got a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and soon the little girl's going to be obsessed.
I don't think so.
My wife says she doesn't think so, but I do.
Lion King all the way.
Oh, she says the Lion King. Lion King sucks. Christopher, all right, the Ghostbusters reboot 2016. No way. No way. Refuse to watch that one. It's kind of like how a lot of Star Wars fans got upset with the new canon reboot. I feel the same about the Ghostbusters. Can't give in. Not gonna watch it.
I'm gonna make that Ruth's favorite movie.
So my wife's talking. She said she's gonna make it my daughter's favorite movie. Nope. I will burn every single copy you bring home. She's interrupting me, guys. I love this guy getting the electric shocks. He spits his gum out. Yeah, my 2-year-old was actually running around the house tonight with his Ghostbuster suit on. Sorry, I have to lean forward to read these comments. It's on a little computer here. Jacob, speaking of Ghostbusters, did you guys play the Ghostbusters game? It was pretty much Ghostbusters 3. It was fantastic. Yes, I have played it. I actually bought the remastered version for my Xbox One, and my 5-year-old actually saw me playing it and said, "Hey, can I try?" I was like, "Sure," expecting him to just, die and give it back to me, be upset about it, and not want to do it anymore. But he actually took the game when I was halfway through it, finished the game, not in one sitting, of course, but he finished the game, and then he's like, "Can I do it again?" Okay. So then he did it again, and then he unlocked the special like dark Ghostbusters 2 suit, played it and beat it again. And then when he was finished, he said, "Can I do it again?" I said, "Okay." So he's going to start it over again too, and he wants to put the difficult on hard. That way we can unlock the golden proton pack. So he's pretty excited and ready to do that. So yeah, I enjoyed the game a lot. This movie's a little dirty for kids. Language, yeah. I guess yeah. It's Ghostbusters. It was over my head when I was a kid.
Doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right, my wife says. Okay. Well, I made it right. I just love this movie so much. It's my favorite of all time. I mean, if you said, okay, you can have one movie, or you can have Ghostbusters or the entire Star Wars saga plus all the books, which one do you choose?
Lion King.
I choose Ghostbusters. All the other stuff can just go. See, my wife wants to chime in from across my desk, but she's too afraid to come over here and actually sit down and watch the movie and chat with you guys. Aren't you?
I'm working on my video.
What's your guys' opinion of Ghostbusters 2? I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not the best. I might take the Star Wars saga over Ghostbusters 2, but I love it. It has a special place for me. The kids don't like it as much. They prefer Ghostbusters 1 with Zool. They even said that before. I'm like, hey, Asher. And he's like, there is no Asher, only Zool. I'm like, okay. So he's into it. Like I said, the 2-year-old, always wearing his suit. If it's dirty, he goes and tries to pull it out of the dirty laundry to try to put it on. And just like, no. All right, now they're all in the library. He slams the book on the desk. Oh, you're here. I love how dry the humor is in this film too. Jacob, do you like Ghostbusters 2? How about you, Dave? You like Ghostbusters 2? What's awesome is my wife, she agreed to let me name our a dog when we get one, Dr. Peter Venkman or Dr. Egon Spengler. Isn't that right?
No.
She says no. She will. She just doesn't know it yet. The stacks area in the library scenes where the bookshelves are was actually shot at the Los Angeles Public Library, but the exterior and upstairs reading room is the New York City Public Library. See, that's awesome. I don't know all the trivia stuff. And like I was going to say earlier, is the Star Wars fandom, it's pretty crazy. But the Ghostbusters hardcore fandom, really crazy. I mean, people know everything about this movie, the making of it. I just love the movie. The story, like I said before, it's like all genres in one. I mean, I guess you can argue that it's not, but I say it is. Jacob says, yeah, he likes Ghostbusters too. And why not? Had some tacky moments, but the slime is cool. Oh, Dave does not like Ghostbusters 2. Only seen it once or twice. Wow. But the original, many, many times, yes. So this movie's been playing almost nonstop in our house lately, since the kids were introduced to it. My wife's like, oh, not again. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Jacob, if the new Ghostbuster movie is as good as Ghostbusters 2, I'll be happy. Same here. It's hard not to get my hopes up. I got excited when I saw that Jason Reitman, the original director, Ivan Reitman's son, was doing it. That got me really excited and happy. So I'm going to going to hold on to hope that it's going to be decent. Hopefully, they get Elmer Bernstein to come back and do the score. So hope they don't. I hope they don't forget. Like, oh, we need to have good music playing as well in the background. That's what I love about I love the music in the original Ghostbusters too. The Ghostbusters 2 score, I think, was lost in a fire, like the original files for it. I think, could be wrong, but it's not available anywhere for purchase. The soundtrack is, but not the score. Oh yeah, Jacob. Hopefully, it could be the best one yet. I doubt it, but hey, for some kid out there, yeah. So I'll take both of the boys to go see that movie. I know they'll be happy to see a new Ghostbusters show, movie. And by that time, I think my girl will be old enough to maybe possibly go sit in a theater, but I doubt it. Not for the first viewing. That'll be like the first. I'll take her to the first showing in the morning. All right, the full floating torso apparition, and it's real. See, I'm slowly working on my proton pack. I got the wand here next to me for that belt, but it's a lot of it's taken apart. All the wires are ripped out. I can't, so I can't turn it on or anything. But it's exposed. All the wires are out. I got some work I need to do to it, but yeah, it doesn't. I didn't make the little put the switch on there to make the tube go in and out because I'm not that talented. But I thought this was pretty good for my first time ever like making a prop. It's bits and pieces from the internet that I found from different sellers and everything. But the lights all work. I just have to get a different piece that connects it to a different soundboard, and then I've got a power pack that hooks it up. So it's going to be pretty cool when it gets all done, but it's going to take a while. I thought it might be this year. Looks like it might be next year. I'm just happy to see Winston back in action. Heck yeah, Ernie Hudson. I got to see him in a Wizard Con in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was cool. Got to shake his hand. I was one of those weirdos dressed up as a Ghostbuster. Took a picture with him. He autographed it. It was a great day. Dave says, your family will love that the new film is set in Oklahoma. I know. That is exciting. But I don't think that little town that they talk about, I can't even think of what it was off the top of my head, but I don't think it exists. I think it was all made up. Speaking of that, I want to look that up and see what town it's supposed to take place in. I thought the trailer for that for Afterlife looks really good. See, he's giving a crunch bar. When I was never able to really see that when I was a kid. I didn't know what he was giving him. Thought it might have been a Baby Ruth or something, but wasn't 100% sure. When I was a kid, I thought this Dean was like a bad guy because he's kicking the Ghostbusters out. So I didn't like him. Still don't. He's a jerk. Is Ray Parker Jr. coming back for Afterlife? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably use the same song, right? I mean, Ghostbusters 2 used it in parts, but they had a different theme as well. A.D. Bryant, hey, thanks for joining. Watching Ghostbusters right now. We are at the 14-minute mark. They're getting kicked off campus. See, with each viewing too, I learned something new. Like just recently, I that scene they got kicked out of is the same area where they did the electric shock thing with with Peter. Super private sector expects results. So, guys, what's your favorite movie of all time? AD, I too am excited for the new movie being filmed in the great Okie State. AD, you from here? You from Oklahoma? Dave, I recently heard that the Eddie Murphy was originally going to play Winston. Yeah, I knew that one. And John Candy was actually supposed to play Louis Tully, but Rick Moranis got that role. And I believe Peter Venkman, Bill Murray's character, was originally John Belushi, but John Belushi passed away, and that just didn't work out. AD, you are in Oklahoma. Well, do I know you? Do we know each other? Where are you at in Oklahoma? I'm sorry, because sometimes people, they just put up different names, so I don't know if I know you or not. Jacob's Return of the Jedi is Jacob's favorite movie. It's a good one. Dave, your favorite movie is also Return of the Jedi. Wow. What did you guys? Okay, so the Return of the Jedi guys. What about that special edition ending? The song. I know that was a big upset for a lot of people when they redid the score, and John Williams did a different piece, the celebration theme or something like that. The city. Okay, so you're in Oklahoma City, as am I. M-Dub, Midwest City. Work over near the capital. Okay, so that's it. Yeah. Because I personally, I actually really enjoyed the new theme that John Williams put in Return of the Jedi at the end. It feels like closure. So Jacob, he was fine with it, but he still prefers Yub Nub. Yeah. Dave, he loves the new Return of the Jedi ending. Yeah. See, that new ending also really tied in the prequel stuff. So you got to see Coruscant with the Jedi Temple in the background. See, and this guy right here that's outside the elevator, I believe is in Louis Tully's apartment later when he's throwing the party. Oh, Dana, it's you. See, he's got that funny jumpsuit on. I remember seeing this type of jumpsuit, like the same, it looks like I don't know what material that is, but I remember when I was like in junior high going into an Old Navy, and they had a jumpsuit that looked exactly like the one that he's wearing right now. And I almost bought it, but I didn't because it wasn't cool for me anyway. I did have a Scottish Terrier when I was in high school. Like my parents, we had a dog, and I got to name him Lewis after Louis Tully. Nobody wanted to have Peter Venkman or Egon Spengler, not even Winston Zeddemore. So I went with Lewis, and everybody was like, "Okay, that works." I guess I'm weird to want to have a dog named Dr. Egon Spengler. I think it's funny. Dave, I don't really care about the special edition changes. Life's too short to complain about them for 23 years. That's, yeah, true. People get too upset about things that we shouldn't. I guess the secret to living longer is to not stress, right? Batman 1989 is A.D. Bryant's favorite film. It's a good one. It's still my favorite Batman. It's my favorite comic book movie. I know it's weird to prefer that like over Marvel Endgame. It's like, yeah, give me Batman 89 any day. The coolest vehicle ever in a movie after Ecto 1. And Dave, he was obsessed with Batman. He was 16, watched it a zillion times on VHS. I think I still have the VHS tape. It's at my parents' place. I need to go over there and get all my old movies. I think I even have my original Dragon Slayer VHS copy, which was recorded on the VCR. You know, when the commercial would come on, it'd be paused, which would technically make it just like a jump cut when it came back on TV. Unpaused, you missed just a little bit of what was happening. The good old days with VHS. Now the eggs have cooked on the counter, and now there's noise coming from the refrigerator. Uh-oh. Ooh. Zool. Terror dogs. Those look so cool. I really do hope that those make a comeback in Afterlife. Would really like to see some of this stuff redone, like some of the effects updated. But I'm fine if they don't, because I've got Ghostbusters 1. And I do this to people all the time when they pull up with their car and I'm outside waiting on them. I'll put my hands in my pocket and I'll lean forward and I'll say, you can't park that here. Just these things, it's like we always, when you walk up to a door, an automatic door, you wave your hand like because you got Jedi powers. I do the same stuff with Ghostbuster things, And don't stare at me. You got the bug eyes thing. I do that. Or you get the bug eyes. I do that all the time. And then immediately apologize after you say it. Dave, I heard that John Candy wanted Lewis to be a quirky German guy or Russian or something like that, with a lot of dogs in his apartment. He wanted the role to be bigger, and they didn't want to change it, so they hired Moranis instead. Yeah, it would have been a completely different thing had they used John Candy, which I love John Candy. I miss that guy. I wish he was still alive making movies. But kind of wonder if he would have followed like Gene Wilder. I remember seeing an interview with him that was like why he didn't act anymore. It's because he didn't like the way comedies were going. He said comedy just got too raunchy for him, which I agree. It's like there's not really any good comedies out there anymore. I collect spores, moles, and fungus. I love that. It's Miller time, but not really Miller. It's Bud Light. See, my boys got the Playmobil Ghostbusters, the firehouse for Christmas. It's like a giant Lego type thing. And they want to build it but we haven't built it yet. They want to so bad, but I'm scared that they're going to lose pieces. So I'm debating on getting some super glue and gluing it together so they just have it as like a play set. Because I know them, they'll take pieces off and then they'll lose it and then they'll complain about it. So it's like, nah. I don't want to hold it too much longer because, like I said, they complain about it all the time. Oh, what can we build the Ghostbusters house? Man, John Candy was fantastic in Spaceballs. yeah. That's a good movie. I might have to do a watch along with that one. See, this is funny too. Is like he's like people coming in and off the streets. Do they? They just opened up. I never got into the comics with Ghostbusters. I know they have a bunch of comics. I do have one comic from Ghostbusters that is signed by the artist, which is really cool. My wife got me that one when we were dating, but I never really read them. All right, I'll take that back. I do have one trade paperback that I read, and it just wasn't really that great. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna get into this. And I did see that they brought in the new Ghostbusters stuff, like the 2016 ladies, put them in the comics too. So it's definitely like, don't want those characters. I saw they did Ghostbusters meets Transformers. I picked up the first 2 issues. I haven't read them, but I picked them up because the covers looked awesome. I need to collect the others. I'll probably read those. Transformers was awesome too. AD, I built the Lego Millennium Falcon a couple of weeks ago, and pieces would fall off my desk constantly, and I was scared I would lose them forever. That is awesome. So what do you do with that thing? I mean, do you keep it like on a table? Did you glue it together? Dude, I think that isn't that thing huge? It's like the size of a table, isn't it? Who published the Ghostbusters comics? Ah, I don't know if it's IDW or Dynamite. I'll look it up real quick. Ghostbusters comic. What is that thing you're doing? It's technical. I use that one all the time too. Yeah, IDW does the comics. Also, speaking of, Dave, definitely do a Spaceballs Hangout. I obviously loved that movie. When I was a teen, the 80s were the best. Yeah, well, I was born in 85, so I got the last half. So, it's more of the 90s kid, the early 90s. It's funny hearing people that are like born in 97 say, "Oh, I'm a 90s kid." It's like, were you though? Oh, you need to put it on your nerd shelf. You got to have a nerd shelf, man. My nerd shelf is it's either on my bookshelves back here, which my wife's trying to put little trinkets on, like, hey, you should put this here, and I'm like, it's just one of my books up there. But in my closet, yeah, I have a shelf on the inside of my closet where I've got all of my little toys and nerd stuff. I get to look at it. Um, Speaking of Batman 1989 and the Ghostbusters, Bill Murray was originally considered to play Batman. What? I don't know how I feel about that. Dana's apartment building is only like 20 stories tall in real life, but they made it look much taller in this movie. Yeah, they made those matte paintings and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty sure there are no animals in there. I don't think you're crazy. See, all hopes for like a real Ghostbusters sequel died when Harold Ramis passed away a couple of years ago. I remember that was like the first time I ever like got choked up when a celebrity died. He was funny. He was so funny. A lot of people really didn't get it. Even that movie, one of his last, I think it was his last movie, one of the last, Year One. I thought that movie was hilarious. It was stupid, but that's the kind of stuff he writes. Stupid humor, just super dry, really funny. Was it just me, or was everyone in Ghostbusters smoking? Probably. It just occurred to me that the Ghostbusters 4K that came out, I don't have 4K anything yet, but I do have a copy, and it's at my parents' place because they got that for me for Christmas, and I forgot to get it. I'm gonna have to get that from them. But I have Ghostbusters VHS like twice. The original, the DVD. I brought this up here because I didn't know if my computer was gonna work with the Amazon Prime thing. This Mac that I'm running on right now is a 2007. Okay, it's ancient. I love that line. We should use some of the petty cash. Take her out, and it's like this meal represents the last of the petty cash. Slow down. Chew your food. It's great. Yeah, I brought this up just in case the computer wouldn't work. Sorry, I just hit the mic. Got Ghostbusters 2 on DVD. I've got them both on Blu-ray twice. The 4K, I've got them on the digital copy. Oh, we'll be totally discreet, she says. I love in the video game, like their place is so much dirtier. Dave, you just watched Avatar on Sunday. for the first time in 11 years. So I'm having a Sigourney Weaver week. Yeah, now you gotta go watch Aliens or Alien. You're watching on DVD because your Mac is also super old, 2010. Except my laptop, my MacBook Pro is a 2010, but its innards exploded, so I can't turn it on. And I have all my like pictures from September of last year on there. We'll be totally discreet. He walks in and he yells, "Hey, anybody see a ghost?" So funny. The gear that they have is just so cool too. This year I added to my suit. I got the leg hose and the Motorola 500 walkie-talkie that they have. I made my own holster. The first time I ever did any sort of like leather work. It sucks, but it held up and it did pretty good. So that makes me happy. Now I just need to build the pack. It's so expensive. They sell the shells, and like the cheapest that you can find, it's $300. If I had a 3D printer, I would have been working on making my own, but I want it to be movie accurate. It's the closest I can get it. Just don't know how I'm going to, because I'm not skilled with tools at all. AD, I just replaced the hard drive. Sorry, I'm telling you, this text is small on this laptop that I'm using. I just replaced the hard drive on the 2012 Mac. Should have just bought a new laptop. Yeah. After taxes, depending on what that looks like, I might apply it to a new computer. I really want a new Mac. People are telling me don't do it, but I just love how it syncs up with the iPhone and the editing software. I paid that, what is it, $200, $300 for this editing software, which I hardly use anymore. I mostly use my phone, but I want to be able to use it when I need to. Hopefully they come out with a sequel to the game to accompany the release of Aftermath. Jacob, that would be awesome. I would love to have a new video game. It's got to be kind of on their mind, right? Since they did the remastered version, they're probably like, hey, money, right? This hotel is actually in LA. Really? LA? This part of movie magic. Including the ballroom where they shot the hotel, except for the hallway with the guest rooms. That's a set. It's incredible. See, and here's what's funny. I think I've watched the commentary on the DVD one time. And the cigarette hanging out of his mouth here, and it just sticks to his lip is hilarious to me. That's something I do all the time too when I dress up for Halloween. This is basically all I ever do for Halloween is dress up like a Ghostbuster. That's why I'm trying to really improve my kit too. And now I'm getting older. I'm like, I really want to have a proton pack. I've always wanted to have one. I built one in junior high. Really crappy, like out of wood and just little pieces that I found around the house, stuck it on the back. The motherboard for it is actually accurate sizing, but it's time to rebuild. I haven't worn that one that I made in junior high in a long time, but I do have it. It's downstairs in the garage. Just pulled it out of the attic not too long ago. I love when they shoot the maid. Yeah, the burning toilet paper is a nice touch. Yeah. Sorry. We thought you were someone else. An ugly little spud. Yeah, and Slimer. I guess it was inspired by John Belushi, which is really funny too. Which the John Belushi trust account on Instagram, run by his family, follows me on Instagram. That was pretty cool. I think they responded on one of my posts too, like a Ghostbuster post. They slimed me. Jacob, yeah, from what I understood, filming in New York City is super expensive and just a pain. Doesn't surprise me. It's funny that they always base movies on New York or California. He got slimed. He says, "That's great. Save some for me." It's perfect. I mean, so many of these jokes, it's just perfect. You're like at the end, it all just comes back full circle. Like the first thing when they first see a ghost, it's like, well, follow my lead. Get her. He screams, "Get her," and then we get that joke back at the end too. So brilliant writing. He's got his goggles down. The director's commentary, they said they turned LA streets into New York City, but simply adding yellow cabs and hot dog carts. Do you remember that one, AD? That's my fault. It's funny, my 5-year-old, he quotes this one all the time now too. Don't cross the streams. It really is exciting knowing that my kids are obsessed with this like I am. It really does make me happy. AD, you have a typo. I remember one of the Spider-Man films being filmed in Atlanta. Yeah, I think that's where all of those Marvel things are done now, I think, is Atlanta, Georgia. And there's some things that stop here in Oklahoma to do things, but not very often. I would love to do more film jobs. It's fun to do that stuff. See, and what I love about like the aftermath, it's a horrible Star Wars book. Afterlife, the Ghostbusters trailer. I love how the effects really look similar to like the stream. Like they kept it consistent. And like the new 2016 from I remember from the trailers and stuff, it was like super bright, shiny, and clean. I like how Afterlife keeps it a little bit dirty. I know I said earlier like I'd like to see updated effects, but I'm talking more about like the puppet work. So they could do that a lot better nowadays with making it look more clean. The flowers are still standing. I need to make a trap. I haven't even thought about making a trap yet. After I make the pack, I might do that. And in those Halloween stores, they've put out some pretty good Ghostbuster stuff like this. These goggles are actually the Spirit Halloween goggles. I mean, I don't know. They look a little small, but they look cool. And the camera makes it look a lot darker than it actually is. It's a little bit brighter green. So what you're seeing is more accurate, I think, than what they are. The Emperor Valse is here. AD, yeah, the actual musical Oklahoma was filmed in Arizona, which is just weird. Yeah, that is pretty weird. Emperor Valse, I now have Ray Parker Jr. singing Ghostbusters in my head as I am at work and can't watch the video. I remember when this film came out and saw it with my friend. We got the C64 game after it. The C64 game, would that be the just like the little handheld thing that's got like 4 or 5 buttons on it? Because if that's what you're talking about, I had that too when I was a kid, and I'm sad that I don't anymore. I did find some just for the Nintendo game. It's actually in another video that I plan on releasing soon. Just a little Ghostbusters haul, but I don't know what to combine it with to show you guys, because it is kind of a boring video where I'm like, hey, look, I got a patch, I got this, but I got the game. And what I love about this scene too, okay, they're taking the ghost out in the trap now from the hotel. When I watched it on my VHS, it was just the old square video. You never knew what was going on the sides. And when I saw it on DVD for the first time in widescreen, you can see when he's talking about the price, Egon is like doing giving him hand signals, and he's like, that'll be $4,000. It's like, perfect. The Commodore 64 PC. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never really had any computer games like that. We kicked its A. It was very popular on the playground in 1984. Yeah, it's a good line. So people sell these magazine covers on eBay. I've never thought to purchase it. Any of them. The Omni one looks really cool with the proton pack on it. The Atlantic. So, in one of these scenes, there was supposed to be like a security guard chasing after the guys, but I think that was actually in a deleted scene. Dana making some sort of stir fry there, chopping up her veggies, had some soy sauce on the table. There's Dana restringing her cello. I've always wanted to play the cello. The one instrument I really wish I would have picked up. This is the one scene that I do wish they could have left it out. It's just so weird. And Ray's jacket. That's something that I just recently noticed too. It's got like these shoulder pads, like a military type jacket, like an old military style. I don't know what you'd call it. There we go, Winston. It's funny. My 5-year-old, his favorite is Winston. In the mind of a child. He's with the name tag. He's like, I want that because his suit came with the different name, all the names. He's like, I want that one with that one guy with the hair, and I'm like, the one with the hair. What are you talking about? He's like, the brown one, the brown guy. I said, the brown guy. It's like, yeah, the black one. It's like, Winston. His name's Winston. It's just funny, Kids, they don't innocence of a child. Talk about an easy interview. There's a steady paycheck in it. I believe anything you say. And for the longest time when I was a kid, I thought that Winston in Ghostbusters 2 was a different actor because he shaved the mustache. He didn't have the stash in number 2, and it threw me off. Cello is a pretty good instrument. I would prefer that over the violin. Yep, same here. I played the trombone in high school, and a guitar, and the drums. Tried the harmonica, just dabbled on it a little bit, but never went anywhere with that one. This thing's starting to get heavy on my forehead. And I love how he's a scientist. He should know how to say all these words when he's reading this sheet, but he just can't. Doesn't know what to say. What's that word? Hittites. Ernie Hudson was actually at Comic-Con in OKC. I wish I met him. I missed it when they came to Oklahoma City. I went a couple years ago when it went to Tulsa, and that's where I actually got to meet him. That was really cool. It's like one of those life goals. I haven't really met many celebrities. I got to see 2 presidents. Met Ernie Hudson, and I met couple of the guys from Aerosmith, which was really cool. Joe Perry, the guitarist, met him after the concert, and he was getting off of his bus to go into the Skirvin Hotel downtown in Oklahoma City. I was walking to my car, which was parked in my at the time the parking garage for where I work, and I'm just walking, and a big bus pulls up, and I'm like, I'm gonna stand here for a second. Joe Perry gets off the bus holding one of his guitars, and my phone, my battery was dead. It was right after the concert. It was so awesome. There was no one to take a picture for me. And the drummer, he wrote a book, and they did like a book signing before one of the concerts in Tulsa. So I got to meet him. I do have a picture with him. Travis Clean. The EPA is here. AD, you went to the one OKC, met Lou Frigno. Nice. He was the one at Tulsa too, but I didn't even get to see him. Ghostbusters, what do you want? I remember hearing this guy, actually, this movie ruined his, Walter Peck, like the actor, this movie ruined his life. So everybody would always yell a certain insult at him that we hear later on in the movie. Every time they'd see him, they'd yell it at him. It's kind of mean. It's funny, but it's... Improval's shoulder pads were so 80s for women's fashion. Yeah. Mother had jackets like that. Yeah, I remember those. Those will probably make a comeback soon. Yeah, it's funny. Janine peeks around the corner over there. See, and going back to the whole fandom of Ghostbusters, I mean, people, they clip out almost every single scene and do zoom ups on things so they could try to find props that match what's in the movie. I mean, that's cool, but I can't dedicate that kind of, no, I can't do that. Like that Wise potato chips. Someone's probably hunted that thing down on eBay and has it because it's in Ghostbusters, which is cool. I mean, I'm not making fun of anybody that does that. It's your passion. Go for it. Have you seen the Ghostbusters remake? Says AD Bryant. Nope. Don't plan on it. I did read the novelization, and it sucked so very bad. I have a book review of that on my channel. You should go check it out. Here you are with the Twinkie. For some reason, I've never memorized that line when he's talking about the Twinkie. I need to get on that because that's something I need to be using. Sometimes people bring Twinkies to work, and I need to say something about it. Other than just, what about the Twinkie? You haven't seen it either. Yeah. Don't want to. I even thought about it when it came out in theaters, thought about going to the Harkins Theater downtown and wearing my Ghostbuster outfit, making a sign like boycotting the film. That would have been stupid. I know. It's really stupid. Immature, too. But for some reason, I thought it was funny at the time. But I didn't do it. Didn't do it. Oh, breaking out of the statue. Dana Barrett's walking down her hall, and Lewis Tully hears her. That's another funny joke too, just to have him constantly hear her walking down the hall. Just she's tiptoeing. And, oh, Dana, it's you. It's so funny. Yeah, it's just movie's just so funny. I've thought about dressing up like Lewis Tully on Halloween before, like the suit, what he's got on right now. You'd get in the colander thing on his head. Not colander. What am I saying? The strainer. I'm an idiot. And Lewis locks himself out. I'll tell you that Scottish terrier that I named Lewis had the same personality he did. It was pretty funny. Jason, I saw the version of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and it was awful looking in the remake. Yeah, the whole thing looked awful. The book, like I said, it was so awful. It had a bunch of nasty jokes in it. It's like they were trying too hard with the silliness. They completely lost the point of it. I mean, Dana's couch is so ugly. The pink with the white and green and red checkers on it. Very 80s. Maybe late 70s. This part was always one of the most freaky parts. The hands bursting through the chairs. Dave, you saw the new one? You thought it was pretty hilarious. Might have been better than the book, the novelization. Because I know novelizations aren't always following the movie exactly. And I also read it with a bias too, of thinking like this sucks. I hate this. So yeah, it was easier for me, like with the Star Wars, with the two canons going. A lot of people got really mad about it. I was just kind of like, well, whatever. I like new stuff. I like the old stuff. I hate some of the old stuff. I hate some of the new stuff. Gosh, that's so terrifying. She gets pulled into the kitchen. Ugh. And for folks, you're chiming in right now, I'm at the 52-minute mark in Ghostbusters. They're at Lewis's house, his apartment, partying. See, I love the honesty with Lewis too. I know there's a channel that I watch that I'm subscribed to that the guy's all about Ghostbusters. He has some good Star Wars, some Star Wars things on his channel too, but he has some connection with some Star Wars authors too. But you should check him out if you like Ghostbuster stuff. It's Lex the Robot. It's a pretty cool guy. Ted and Ed. Ted and Ned. There he is sitting in the bed. I would love to have like a little miniature of one of those. I saw a long time ago on eBay, there was a brass statue, but it was really expensive, and I can't buy really expensive toys or statues. Stupid Chainsaw. Hey, got Ghostbusters 2016 free in a bundle when I signed up for Movies Anywhere. Would not recommend it. See, you know what's stupid? Is the same thing happened to me. So, yeah, I own it on digital format, but it gets skipped over every single time I'm on some, searching for my digital content. And it actually makes me angry that it's there in my library. Because then, the kids are like, what's that? I'm like, nothing. It's nothing. This lawn furniture out here, outside this restaurant. I remember my grandma had that when I was a kid. That heavy metal lawn furniture and table. So when he runs into it right there, that had to have hurt. That had to have hurt. Jacob, speaking of Star Wars, did you guys see that the filming of Star Wars Underground leaked today? Yeah, I was actually, I was at work, so I didn't get to watch any of it, and I forgot about it when I got home. But I watched about 4 minutes of it, so it would have been different. Like I said, it was just test footage, so you know things would have changed a bit. I'm sure some of the effects would have been different, and the acting definitely would have been better from what I saw. First 4 minutes or so, I saw some lady like saying thank you to somebody when she handed over some chip or something. But it would have been cool. I need to finish watching it. Davey saw it too. He thought it was wild and weird. And Brevals, I thought it was a colander, a strainer, have a fine mesh that probably would have blocked out the high end frequency. Yeah, Faraday cage. We need to do a live stream watching it, says Stupid Chainsaw, and suffer through it. Everyone's amusement. Oh, no way. You'd have to pay me. Someone's going to have to send me a check for that one. It's my life goal not to watch that movie. Unless I'm paid a lot of money. But no one's going to give me any money to watch it. Are you the keymaster? I am the gatekeeper. So gross, all the slime everywhere in the house. Apartment, whatever. I like the music here too. In these scenes, everything that involves Zool, I love the music that that Bernstein did, which they re-released the original score, which was awesome. I have it on vinyl, digital, and CD. I couldn't help it. I guess the roses worked, huh? See, that's a line that just I don't remember that one. Jacob, yeah, Underworld was definitely the next big EU multimedia project that, and 1313 were looking promising. Yeah, I remember the 1313 project that just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. Super Chainsaw, what do you think of the real Ghostbusters cartoon? I loved it. We actually got seasons 1 through 5 on DVD for the kids for Christmas. The 2-year-old loves it. My 5-year-old, for some reason, he's not really into the cartoon right now, and I'm kind of worried that it's because of you know the animation. Maybe kids these days are so used to that Pixar type animation, which is sad. There is no Dana, only Zool. That's terrifying. Ugh, eyes rolling back in the head. I can't do that. I know there's a lot of people that can just roll their eyes back. It grosses me out. So if you're watching, listen to this music. Like this part right here. I love this music right here. Listen. Just here we go. I love that. And even later on, you get a lot more of it too. I would love to sit down and do a watch along of all the real Ghostbuster cartoons. That'd be fun. They have that available actually for digital too. It's available on Amazon Prime and iTunes. Honestly, probably should have done that instead of the DVDs, but I'm an idiot. And it was a really good deal. It was like $20 for seasons 1 through 5. And there's 10 total. So I need to get the others. And this guy too, the horse carriage guy. I thought he was a bad guy when I was a kid for some reason. I don't know why I thought he was the bad guy. A bad guy. Oh, dropping off or picking up. I usually don't quote movies when they're playing, just when I'm streaming, because it's kind of fun. So sorry, Dave, you're watching along and I'm quoting things too late or too early or just quoting them at all. That PKE meter looks sweet. I missed it when the Mattel launched their PKE meter. I found out too late. It had already gone up to like $500. But I did get the Spirit Halloween one, and I'm waiting for someone to release like a modification kit so I can make it look better. Physical media is always better than streaming when it comes to home watching. Yeah, it's true. Because internet problems all the time, you know? It's like when I brought this up before I went live, it was like it kept having errors and connecting. I'm like, come on, it shouldn't be so easy. Would you like coffee? Yes, have some. Yes, have some. I love this quote too. Goes to the traveler. AD, are you planning on going to SoonerCon this summer? I would like to. I mean, those are pretty cheap tickets to get into. I'm gonna try to. Maybe we could meet up. That'd be cool. I'd like to go there and like shoot a little video or something. I went to one. I went to it once, about 4 years ago. Me and a guy that I work with, we went together. He took one of the classes to like a prop building class, which is like just building a giant dummy out of PVC pipe and like metal joints. Who's your internet provider? Asked Stupid Chainsaw. It's Cox Communications. AD, I think my wife is getting us tickets for her birthday. Awesome. See, I can't get my wife to go. She's not into that kind of stuff. It drives me crazy. Like when I went to that Wizard Con in Tulsa, it was like right after our first child was born. So I understand her not wanting to go then, but like to not go at all, because we were into the Walking Dead at that time, and the actor who played Daryl was there. That would have been a cool guy to meet and see, but that guy that played Shane, John Bernthal, awesome actor. I got to fist bump him there. He's like walking out of the bathroom when I was walking in. It's like, hey, bud. That's what he said. It was awesome. So another celebrity run-in that I had. So I lied earlier when I said that was it. See, SoonerCon's going to be in what, June maybe? I'm going to look it up real quick. I like this scene too with Winston and Ray and the Ecto one. I think the Bible here, they actually misquoted something too. Revelation 7:12. Oh, how convenient. Got one right here. Us Oklahomans, Bibles and churches everywhere. Say Revelation 7:12. Judgment Day. Myth. Has it ever occurred to you? Guys, I love this movie so much. Have I said that yet? See, Jacob says, "Man, The Walking Dead fell off a cliff." It did. It sure did. Sadly, because it was a really cool show for a long time, or for a while. 80 Bryant would love to meet you if you can make it out there. Yeah, it'd be awesome. I had the opportunity to meet Dave out from California, but things just fell through on my end. Yeah, you've met a bunch of celebrities. Yep. Actually, got to see President Bush. I got to see him do a speech at a graduation for my cousin, and I got to see Bill Clinton outside of Air Force One out here at Tinker Air Force Base. Got to shake his hand. Actually, I think I have his autograph too, somewhere. I was looking at Revelation 7:12. I already forgot what they had said. See, I think that would be a cool cosplay thing too of the electrical guy. But I don't think anybody would really get that. Revelation 7:12. Is that what they said? So yeah, that would, if they said that, then they were way off. Yeah. So you got some Ghostbuster equipment on the shelves behind him. And it's fun too if you guys are watching. Look at Rick Moranis, the way he's like watching and reacting to everyone. It's pretty good. See this guy that's got the Con Eastern, the guy with the electrical company. He kind of looks like the guy from The Office a little bit. Maybe I'm pushing that, but he kind of looks like the guy. Can't remember the guy's name. Jim. He looks kind of like Jim, like a young version of Jim. The only celebrity I've ever met was Gene Kratz, who was the flight director during the Apollo 13 mission. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, sorry, Dave. That's cool. You've seen two presidents. I don't think I've ever seen a president in person. Obama has been in my office building a few times, but I never saw him. Well, that kind of sucks that you were so close that you couldn't see him. He spoke at your high school. Wow. Stupid Chainsaw Productions. It wouldn't be first time the Bible was misquoted in a film. Yeah, it happens all the time. And the hole just blew through the roof of the Ghostbusters place. See, I use that quote too when things aren't looking good at work. People are like, "Oh man, this sucks." It's like, yeah, it's a sign, all right. It's going out of business. They're like, "What? Are you serious?" I'm like, I'm just quoting Ghostbusters, guys. Should be used to it by now. They misquote the Bible in the Wolfman movie with Del Toro. I never saw that one. I wanted to, and the soundtrack was pretty cool. I did get the sound. Well, I got two songs from the soundtrack, which are pretty cool. It's got some pretty nice cello stuff in it. You got a Stay Puffed ad right there painted on the side of a building. I like this song too. It's funny, this song, Magic, I believe it's Magic. when I remember when I had the soundtrack and I tried to find this song, I was like, I hit play and it sounded completely different. And I was like, they put the wrong song on here. No, it's a completely different. They went into a breakdown and it's a completely different sound from the first half of the song. It's like a slow like romance song, and then just changed. Jacob, I think Ed Harris played him in Apollo 13. Said that a portrayal of him was inaccurate as heck. Yeah, well, yeah, people. He had to go his own. He had to do his own thing. The actor. He's like, I bet he would have done this. This is a hot dog street vendor. I always that street vendor. He kind of looked like. He reminds me of. What's his name? My mind goes blank when I go live. It's too much pressure. Adam Sandler. Kind of looked like Adam Sandler. But this was before Adam Sandler did anything in the movies, I think, or shows. Long before. Did we get that guy from what is it, Family Matters, the Steve Urkel show? Plays a cop. He plays a cop in here too. Stupid chainsaw. I met Gary Berghoff, Radar from MASH. Oh, that's cool. When I was in kindergarten, I actually went to school with his kids. Oh, that's pretty neat. Dave, for the scene later when the big marshmallow blob falls on Peck, they tested it by dropping 75 pounds of shaving cream on a stuntman. The stuntman fell over, so they used a lot less, I guess. That's pretty funny. That had to have hurt. Like right on the top of your head. He played a cop in Die Hard too? You believe, says A.G. Bright. That's funny. Remember, I watched this Key and Peele skit not too long ago where one of the guys acting like him. They did like a little Steve Urkel thing. It was stupid. It was funny though too. 4 feet above her covers. Ivo Shandor, which you can find that name in the new Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. Yep. There's a mine shaft, or the gates that go to the mine say Ivo Shandor Mines. So that's a cool little tie-in. So the materials for this building come from that mine. So it looks like Shandor might be making a little appearance. Oh, the actor, he did a cameo in Die Hard 2. Die Harder. I never saw the Die Hard movies. Never saw them. I don't know why I haven't seen them. Just haven't. Some Babylonian god, and I love how Egon just sits there, listens to him, and then he's like, Sumerian, not Babylonian. So, like I said it before, Ghostbusters is all genre film. It's got the comedy, it's got the horror, it's got the romance, it's got the fantasy elements, it's got the sci-fi, it's got everything. What other movies are out there that are like that? They have all genres in one. You've never seen Die Hard. OMG, you gotta. I know I do. I get tired of hearing that people like making that one argument all the time, like it's a Christmas movie. No, it's not. It's like, guys, I thought we were past that in 2013. Hear the same argument every year around Christmas time. So that being said, should I watch it at Christmas or beforehand? Jacob says, "Yeah, that guy's always uh, typecast as a cop." Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, he was in the movie with Tom Hanks. Uh, I love this movie too, and it's going just heck, what the f? Turner and Hooch. I saw that movie when I was a little kid, and I loved it. I still do. He was a cop in Turner and Hooch. Now we're talking with the mayor. Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Brilliant scene. He just gets so pissed he's gonna go fight him. So funny. And that's also what everybody called this guy, the actor. They ruined his life by calling him "There's Dickless." Such a good movie. Christmas, just watch it whenever. Okay. I'll have to see if it's on Netflix. I haven't been on Netflix in a while. Just haven't been on the TV. I'm trying to read so many books and get them all over with so I can watch something. To be honest, I prefer Lethal Weapon to Die Hard. I've seen one of the Die Hard or one of the Lethal Weapon movies. I think it was the fourth one in theater. Joe Pesci was in it, talking about phones, like cell phones. See, that's how they get you. They're effing you with the phones. We have Winston's good line here. Perfect to have him say that too. I have seen that'll turn you white. I don't like to curse on here. You guys know that. You get that nice cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. More Disney books will come out. Yeah, they will. It will never stop. Ryan says, "Hey Ryan, welcome. Need to get you on here. Talk some Star Wars." Yeah, I've got that Queen's Peril. I need to start reading that one. Don't want to, but I need to. The fourth one is trash. Says Stupid Chainsaw talking about Lethal Weapon 4. See, I need to see the first three. Did they do a 5 or were they talking about doing a 5? There's a new Lethal Weapon movie in development. There you go. Answer my question right there. Wonder if it's going to have the same guys. The Jacob Ayers, yeah, with ancient Danny Glover and old Mel Gibson. Yeah. They really will be too old for this stuff. A.D. Bryant's currently reading Darth Bane trilogy. One of the best in the whole series, in my opinion. Darth Bane. Such a great character. The whole thing. Have you ever read it before? Is this your first time, Bryant? A.D.? And I always thought that scene was hilarious too. And it's like, well, when the mayor's like, "What do you need from me?" And it cuts to the army in the streets of New York. They did a Lethal Weapon TV series. I hated it. Huh. Didn't know that. Dave says Danny Glover lives there in San Francisco. You've met him a few times. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so you almost done with the first book. Okay, movie cars. If you could have one and actually drive it, guys, what would be your movie car? Of course, I'd have Ecto 1. I put a Ecto One license plate on the front of my car. Actually, a special order from eBay. I didn't get the yellow New York one. I found a guy on eBay that makes custom plates and actually sell, like, you could pick your state and they have multiple versions of your state's license plate. And I picked like an old Oklahoma one, like a really old Oklahoma license plate, and it just says Ecto One. Put it on the front of my car. So AD Bryant, you ever out there seeing a RAV4 driving with an Ecto One on the license plate in the front? That's me. I got the Inferno Squad logo on the back window too, which I don't think anybody knows what that is. Everybody's always got a Stormtrooper or Darth Vader head or Boba Fett. I've got Inferno Squad. Dave, I love these scenes with the cheering crowd of New Yorkers. Yep. Yeah, you get all the different little groups, like this the Jewish group that's in there doing their prayers, and all like the punkers and stuff. I just sound like a hick right there, didn't I? All them punkers and stuff. AD, they made a TV series of Rush Hour and Taken. I didn't know that. The Batmobile '89 for James Bond, or James Bond 2007, James Bond 007, Aston Martin. Yeah, I'd have to go with that Batmobile as a second choice. Maybe even Back to the Future DeLorean too would be cool. Firebird from Smokey and the Bandit, says Jacob. And Stupid Chainsaw, the Mad Max car from Road Warrior. That'd be cool. I never actually saw the Mad Max movies. I never saw all those either. I think I saw part of one of them. And it's completely unintentional. Like I want to see them. I just haven't. I saw Top Gun for the first time last year, and I loved it. Had some cheesy parts in it, but it was awesome. AD Bryant, if I see it on the road, I'll honk. Okay. I never sound like a hick. That's good. The V8 Interceptor was epic. I love this scene. Where going up the stairs remind me when we get to 20. I'm going to throw up. Another line that I use all the time when me and somebody else are going upstairs. You got to watch Fury Road, best action movie of the 2000s. I did watch that one. But the original stuff, I never saw that one. Top Gun is awful except for the soundtrack. I take it you're not going to see the sequel there, Jeremy? I honestly probably won't see the sequel in theaters. It's hard. It's getting hard to go to the movies now with like kids. Nobody to watch them really. All right, they made it to floor 22 up the stairs. That would suck. About to be turned into some terror dogs. I mean, those are some of my favorite on-screen things ever. You got Vermithrax from Dragon Slayer, the dragon, and the terror dogs. The coolest creatures, in my opinion. Even like beating everything pretty much out of Star Wars, in my opinion. Yeah, Star Wars has some cool things, but nothing looks as cool as the terror dog. I love this too. The humor. It's so. Where do these stairs go? They go up. Tell you, gets me every time. AD, never seen Top Gun. Jacob says, yeah, Kenny Loggins saved Top Gun. Stupid Chainsaw says, good to A.D. Bryant. Don't see it. Stupid Chainsaw. Second worst Tom Cruise movie. Wow. Heard that, AD, you heard that they were making Jaws again? That's dumb. It's one of those movies that you really don't touch, you know? Uh-oh. Terror Dog transformed. They look so cool. If you've noticed, Dana, her Terror Dog, the horns go down. Lewis, or Vince Clortho, his horns go up. So Zool, horns down. Vince, horns more up. Chainsaw says that Jaws is probably just BS. AD says agreed. I agree too. AD hopes. Dave, my movie is running a few seconds ahead of yours, so when you quote at the film, it's sometimes exactly as the being spoken. It's funny. Good. Just read the Rogue Squadron book instead of watching Top Gun. It's basically the same, but Wedge is a better character. This sometimes I fast forward the movie to this scene with "Go get her, Ray." I love that line. Bringing it back to the beginning there, their first ghost. He just looks at him. Oh, nimble little minx, isn't she? Gozer looks so awesome. It's actually like my Xbox One avatar is Gozer. Uh-oh. It's like Peter Venkman. No. Die. I think the voice actress, Dave, you might know more about her. Now, I think she did voice, the voice actor that did the audio for, I'm screwing up what I'm saying. The lady who's playing Gozer right now did not do that voice. That's like a supermodel. The voice actress, I think, did something in Poltergeist, right? And did she do E.T.? For some reason, I keep thinking it's the same voice as E.T. I could be wrong about that one. And Chainsaw says that there was supposed to be a Terminator remake that was supposed to be with was supposed to star Vin Diesel. That would have been weird. Vin Diesel isn't even an actor. Yeah. See that little green switch? Oh, there's a green switch on their proton wands there. That's missing from mine. There we go with the nimble little minx thing. Vin Diesel's just a big meme that's in the Fast and Furious movies. Yep. We neutronized it. It's interesting about the voice actress. I don't know. I'd be surprised if she was also E.T. Because, I mean, when you actually listen to her, sounds a little bit like E.T. See, it's Miller time. Get the earthquake going. I had a dream once that had Gozer in it. It was one of the most terrifying nightmares that I've ever had, and it was pretty recent. It was weird. It involved Gozer. Thanos was in it too for some reason, and one other like villain from some movie. But Gozer was like the big boss, most terrifying thing ever. I love the lore they set up with the Ghostbusters too, with the Gozer. So freaking cool. Oh yeah, E.T. was the same voice as Leia's voice as the bounty hunter in Jedi. That's right. I wonder if that lady is it the same one that does this. Yeah, consider the Lucas Spielberg connection. Yeah, it's Miller time. So dated. I know. We got to bring it back, Dave. I know this is not a Miller, but it's Miller time. My 5-year-old's like, he walked after this scene. He's like, "What's Miller time?" I was like, "Don't worry about it, son. One day you'll understand." A.D. Bryan says, "Hey, stupid chainsaw! Didn't the actual ET alien make a cameo? Yeah, in episode 1 in the Senate room." Episode 1. Here he comes. Old Stay Puft. What did you do, Ray? Hence the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And I love Egon's line that comes up too. He's like, Egon, what have you got left? He says, sorry, Venkman. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought. It's brilliant. Brilliant writing. I'm telling you. And I remember hearing in the commentary track, they were really terrified about this scene, like if it was actually going to work or not, having a giant marshmallow man walking around. You know, but it worked. Looks good. This is something you don't see every day. Oh, man. And I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. I've seen this movie so many times. And Jeremy, you weren't here whenever I said it. And I think a couple of you weren't here when I said it. Like, I honestly, if I had to pick between, I can only choose either the entire Star Wars saga, including the books, or Ghostbusters 1 to watch or to have, period, I would choose Ghostbusters. Oh, no. I use that one a lot too. Mother Puss Bucket. That one gets the looks. Like, what are you talking about? See, a stupid chainsaw is talking about little ET creatures in Cloak of Deception in the book. There's a guy, Lex the Robot, who does a lot of Ghostbusters content on his channel, actually had conversations with James Lucino about that exact character. Jacob Ayers, there's tons of little Easter eggs for Star Wars and Indiana Jones and vice versa for Star Wars. Yeah. Dave, you just Googled Pat Welsh, who did the voice of E.T. She did the Bosch voice. Yeah. You didn't know that? Thanks, Chainsaw. Well, but the Zool, but not the Zool voice? Really? I wonder. That's odd. I gotta see who did the voice for, I'll just who did the voice for Gozer. It just showed me the actress like today. She looks rough. It's a bold statement, but you accept it. Meaning the scratching all the Star Wars content and just keeping Ghostbusters. Gozer voice. Patty Edwards. Oh, and there's a giant explosion on that building. Jacob, I respect it, but couldn't give up Return of the Jedi and the EU. I understand. Here's that shot with the all that shaving cream being dumped on him. I mean, if the real shot, I mean, the actor that got it dumped on him right there sounds like he's actually upset. Why can I not find who did the voice for Gozer? I can't find anything that, like, looks legit. Patty Edwards, okay. IMDb says Patty Edwards did stuff in The Little Mermaid, Hercules, Halloween 2, Star Trek, the Goofy movie. So she did a bunch of cartoons. Looked like she did a lot of work for Disney. Wait, she did voice work for Real Monsters. I remember that show. Nickelodeon back in the day. The Batman, the series, I guess. I wouldn't mind seeing Gozer make a comeback in Afterlife. It would be awesome. But I don't know, because I mean, Gozer can come back in any form. Like I said, I thought Gozer was a man. It's like it's never wants to be. So it didn't have to be the lady. We could see Gozer in his true form, whatever that is. I love how Peter Venkman doesn't have any have any of the marshmallow on him except just a little bit on his head. Everybody else is completely covered. Since if you look, you could really tell that it is shaving cream. It's not some fluffy marshmallow. My kids like to pretend I'm the marshmallow man and walk around and they shoot me with their little packs. I'm looking forward to the new Ghostbuster toys too. There's supposed to be some that come out, I think, in April. So I got to start saving the money, get some toys. Dave, I love marshmallow. I'd be so happy to have part of the Stay Puft Monster fall next to me. You just blah, 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 blah. It'd be funny. The superintendent's gonna be pissed. I like that. We'd like to take a sample of your brain tissue. Okay. Who does your taxes? I love that. Gosh. And if you guys weren't here earlier, I'm going to show you one more time. Proton wand that I'm working on here. It's all exposed. Resin and aluminum. Theme song. Man. It looks like the next movie I have to do is probably either episode 4, New Hope. See, it was funny because I almost didn't put Ghostbusters as an option on my little poll that I put up on YouTube. It was like the last minute, like, yeah, I guess I'll put it up there because I'd mentioned before, like, oh, I'll have to do a Ghostbusters one soon. And the one I really wanted to do, it came in second place on my poll. Have you guys seen that? Because I love that movie. I know a lot of people that have seen it that hated it. I love it. I think it's a great film. So now we get the credits. Credits rolling. So I hope I didn't just disappear off the stream because I just clicked over to a different window real quick. I love how when the credits started, it's still showing footage. I like that. Production design, John DeCure. Man, to have been an extra during this part would have been so cool. Which movie was I saying? I'm sorry, I cut out. It must have been when I clicked away from the thing. I wanted to do. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, if it cut out. I wanted to do Big Trouble in Little China. Can you guys hear me now? You guys hear me? Your phone lagged. I think it's because I clicked out. Waiting for one of you guys to say that it's all good. So you can't hear me. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. It might lag one more second here. I'm sorry if it does. Can you guys hear me now? Oh, you can hear me. I'm gonna cut out for a second. Okay, but yeah, have you guys seen Big Trouble in Little China? It's one of those films I really like to take a few drinks of whiskey before I watch it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's like one of those it feels tight and small. Dave, you've never seen Big Trouble in Little China. Okay. I highly recommend it. Okay. I really do. I think it's an 80s film. Big Trouble. It's in 1986. It's got it's a John Carpenter film. It's got Kurt Russell in it. You probably know what it is, but I forgot. My camera sucks. I was going to show you the poster for it, but you've got to get a whiskey drink or two. What is it? What's your favorite? You missed it back in the 80s, yeah. But time to correct that problem and watch it. Stupid chainsaw, you nasty. Chainsaw, check your email. Definitely know the film. Okay, you remember the poster, but never seen it. Yeah, it's a really fun. You drink Jack. Okay, my favorite would be Bushmills, Irish whiskey. Been good hanging out with you too, Jacob. I'm actually getting. I know you guys are probably going to head out, but I was going to have Stupid Chainsaw come on for a minute. We can talk some other Star Wars books. So if you guys head out, no problem. I'll cut what me and Jeremy say and add it to a different video. If you guys want to catch it later, you can. Have a good night, Jacob. Thanks for joining. Catch it later. You can. There you go. Good night, Jacob. 1 second. 1 second there, Jeremy. I gotta find my. There we go. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Find my. Hearing some feedback.
Is it me?
There you go. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, we got a double echo sort of thing. Let's play around here in the sound bar.
Yeah,
I can hear you. Oh, we got a double echo.
So, Dave, is it just straight? You like it on the rocks?
Oh, you know what it is. I have your live stream open in the other window.
Oh, you idiot!
No. Yeah, I'm a dumb something. That
Edie Bryant says, "What up, Stupid Chainsaw Productions?"
Hello.
Hey, yeah, guys, thanks for watching the Ghostbusters or hanging out here while I watched it. I love this movie so much.
Dude, I almost put on Ghostbusters 2016 to compare and contrast.
Oh,
and
no.
I realized that you were going to have a good time and I was going to be miserable. Funny story about that, though. So I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
The first time it was on TV and I caught my mom watching it. And this is you have to understand that my mom used to hate slapstick comedy, like to the point where, like, I used to be, when I was a kid, I was a big Three Stooges fan, and she'd get so irritated when my dad and I would be watching Three Stooges. But twice now, no, it's actually probably been like 5 times, I've caught her watching Adam Sandler movies, which she used to trash talk Adam Sandler. She got so mad when she paid for me to see You Don't Mess with the Zohan when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kept her watching Pixels. In fact, she went to the theater to go watch Pixels, and I was like, Mom, I'm so ashamed. But then I catch her watching Ghostbusters 2016, and she and I have legit, like, last week had an argument because she thinks that's a genuinely funny movie. I'm like, do you not understand the original? Because she loves the original too.
Yeah.
She would rather watch Ghostbusters 2016 than Ghostbusters 2.
Oh no, I need to have a talk with her.
I've tried. You don't have a talk with my mother.
I want to do something different real quick. A.D. Bryant. Okay, hold on. Let me see Dave. He likes to take with Coke or soda, sometimes shots. There you go. I like to take a swig before I go to bed sometimes. Helps me sleep. A.D. Bryant, Dave, you guys have webcams, and if you do, would you like to join in for a little bit? Maybe about 20, 30 minutes? Maybe we just talk some Star Wars or books that you're reading.
Books I'm reading, okay.
It's whatever. We can just hang out.
I was thinking, so when you brought up, like, because Ghostbusters is your absolute favorite film, I was trying to think of mine. And mine, for my whole adult life, it's been 3 films specifically that they rotate. Well, my top 10 films all rotate a lot, but these 3 stay in the top 3. And it was always Star Wars, the original Star Wars, not the special edition, but the 77 version. Pulp Fiction, and the 91 director's cut of Blade Runner. That one specifically is the closest we ever got to the perfect cut of Blade Runner. And I get that the final cut is like cleaner looking, but they put some CG in to get rid of the wires in a practical effect, and I didn't think it was necessary because they weren't that noticeable. But that, unfortunately, that cut has the unicorn scene in it, and I hate that so much.
Yeah, I never another film that I have not yet watched.
So Blade Runner, I understand why people have never seen Blade Runner, because I stumbled upon it on accident. Like, I want to say I was 12 the first time I saw Blade Runner, and it was also the first time I ever heard someone say the N-word in a movie. Because in the theatrical version, Harrison Ford refers to a skin job as equivalent of calling someone the N-word. Because in the theatrical version, Harrison Ford does this awful, like, noir voiceover where he didn't try. And he thought they weren't going to put it in the movie, and they did anyway. So I think he calls sushi sushi at one point.
Wow.
But yeah, no, Blade Runner's fascinating because Ridley Scott doesn't understand what his own movie is about.
Yeah.
Because Ridley Scott is a crazy person. And people don't give Ridley Scott enough crap for the decisions he makes now. Whereas, like, everyone is okay to crap on George Lucas, but, like, Ridley Scott, man, you make weirder choices than George Lucas on things.
Yeah. Especially, like, recently he put out a bunch of crap stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I liked Alien Covenant enough. I thought it was fine. Prometheus was awful. He did a remake of Exodus. It was really bad. Or did he do the Noah one?
He did Exodus. I didn't see that one.
He didn't do the Noah one was bad too with Russell Crowe as Noah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very picky about my Bible films.
Yeah, they're pretty. They can be pretty bad.
I think
Hey, Jacob, welcome back.
because I think Exodus, from I think it was the '60s. I thought that was a very solid film, and I am a fan of Last Temptation of Christ. I saw that fairly recently. I'm not a Passion of the Christ fan.
No?
No. Mel Gibson's a crazy person, nearly killed a poor actor.
Yeah.
Dude got pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big Mel Gibson director fan. Like Apocalypto's nonsense.
I never saw that one.
Hacksaw Ridge is the only one to me that functions as like a movie, but it's nasty too. I don't know. But there is a film I watched in the last couple months that has dethroned all three of my favorite films. That would be Trainspotting.
Never seen it.
I would highly recommend Trainspotting. I can't. It's one of those films you're like, oh, I can't believe I didn't watch this sooner.
Yeah. See, that is the sequel, right?
They made T2 Trainspotting. I've not seen that.
Dave says he doesn't have a cam set up at the moment. You should. Thanks for offering. You should fix that. I should fix that. Yeah, you should do that. We can have you come on and talk some Star Wars or books, just books in general, whatever. Talk about anything. I like to do this stuff. This is a lot of fun. I get my 2 to 2.5 hour window. Cool to hang out with some folks, get some new faces and stuff. Jacob, you missed when I said if you have a webcam and Google Chrome and you want to join us, let me know.
Yeah.
Shoot you an email. Get to provide the email. Send it to TheGeeksAttic@gmail.com. But yeah, Jacob says he agrees with Blade Runner is a really weird movie.
It is, but it's based off of a weird book. Do androids dream of electric sheep? I'm so glad they didn't call the film that.
I actually have 2 copies of that novelization too.
Do you have one of the ones with the movie poster where it says Blade Runner and then it says AKA Do Androids Dream?
Yeah, the two same covers. Dave could never get into Blade Runner. He finally saw it in college in the 90s. Never took to it. Yeah,
it's some weird taste.
I remember they talked about it a lot when I did go to film school for 1 semester before I quit and then went out and moved down to a small town in Oklahoma and took a completely different degree field. But they always talked about Blade Runner all the time. They even showed some of the footage, but I was like, this movie looks really kind of boring. Jacob Air says, besides Indiana Jones and Star Wars, there are very few Harrison Ford movies.
Do you like? Yeah. Air Force One was fun. Where he was the president.
Yeah, I remember that film.
It's ridiculous, but I enjoyed it. I'm a fan of The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I have that novelization as well.
I didn't know there was a novelization.
Yep, it's the book club sized edition.
Ooh, my favorite size hardcover.
I think it is. I'm 90% sure that it's the book club sized edition. I'm sorry, I'm hearing like a weird buzzing sound.
I mean, I'm
it's coming from somewhere here in the house. I don't know what that is.
My wire's tangled. I'm not wearing my usual cans. I can't find them, so I had to put the gaming headset on, but I don't like the mic on it. So I did it so I could use my normal mic.
Yeah.
You sound kind of weird, but these are actually pretty comfortable. I bought them just like as a bundle with a keyboard, mouse, and mouse pad. And the wire's like kind of not good on these, so sometimes you're in mono and sometimes you're in stereo.
Yeah.
It's just the wire. So I'm just messing around with it. Nasty Chinese guy. You can't. So some cultures just eat different things.
Yeah, they do.
There's also I'm assuming you all have heard the story of how there's certain forests in China. I don't think it is this way anymore because they're not as overpopulated as they were like in the 90s when like the one child policy happened. But there's certain forests that have no animals in them anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. It's crazy. Like we went to the zoo over the weekend. Do what?
It could also be propaganda. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, who knows? I went to the zoo and it's sad seeing all these like signs, but the animals and it's like this animal is extinct or is extremely rare now, and it's on the endangered species list. It's about to go extinct. You're like, dang, okay, a lot of
Yeah.
stuff we're seeing in our lifetime.
There was a breed of rhino that went extinct last
Yeah.
year. That was all. I was furious. It's not surprising. There's so much poaching on that continent.
Mm-hmm. Sip Jacob says the Fugitive is great, but I mostly give that movie to Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. That being said, though, U.S. Marshals, the sequel, is not that great.
Yeah.
Even
I
with
have.
Tommy Lee Jones in it.
That's got Robert Downey Jr., right?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes is who he's going after. I don't remember a lot of U.S. Marshals. I just know they fight in a grain silo and they always get buried in rice.
That's the only thing I remember about it too.
And they cry. Wesley Snipes causes a plane wreck, and that's how he's.
Or is it a bus? Is it a bus?
I can't remember.
Or a train? Yeah.
It's not
planes, trains, automobiles.
That's under siege too. Dark Territories, the Steven Seagal movie when he first started using a stunt double to war him in distance shots.
Wow. Yeah, I think I have U.S. Marshals novelization too. I need to bring up. We need to do. I'm going to have you on here sometime. We'll have all our novelizations out. We could talk about those. Do you have a lot? Did you repurchase a lot?
I'm just starting to repurchase all the Alien novelizations, which actually all but one of them was written by Alan Dean Foster. I didn't realize this till because I'm reading Aliens right now, which I'm just going to put it out there. If you ever read it, they take almost all the swearing out of the book.
That's weird.
It's bizarre to the point when an F-bomb was dropped. I like was shocked. Like I opened, I had like literal shock on my face.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. This was like this. I did finally finish reading that Lost Causes of Bleak Creek by Rhett and Link, those YouTubers.
Yeah.
And on their channel, just like how mine, I don't use any language on it. They never use it. And their book is actually got quite a few F-bombs in it and a lot of other cursing too. And you're like, oh, they found their outlet.
Like if I wrote something and it was rated G.
Yeah. 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 But yeah, I'm going to be doing the book review for that sometime soon. So that means I've got like an hour left in the audiobook for Warcraft, The Shining Blade. How is it? It's been rough the first half, but the second half is definitely getting much better. The first was full of some weird stuff that I'll save that for the review, but it felt more kiddie too.
Okay, well, it looks like a kid's book, right?
It is, but the first two is the same way. It has its moments where it's like, yeah, this is definitely a junior novel, and then there's parts it's like, oh, this is actually a really cool adventure. But this one, half of the book is like, wow, this is kind of lame. The second half has been much better. So I'm looking forward to finishing that one. And then, sadly, Queen's Peril. And then, finally, Rogue Planet. So, yeah. Push through that Queen's Peril pretty hard.
I discovered a really weird movie novelization. I don't know if it was a movie novelization or if it was a book first, but Death Wish as a novelization, the Charles Bronson film from the 70s. You know, for those of you who don't know, I have a weird, strange, like, love for the Death Wish movies. In fact, I watch them more often than I do the Star Wars films because I find the Death Wish movies for movies about murder and sexual assault, I find them really funny and like because they're so terrible.
Yeah.
Well, the first two are kind of hard to watch because they're pretty on the rapey side. But by the time the third one happens, and it's a bunch of people who knew when your neighborhood looked like an orange grove, versus a bunch of Hollywood thugs, and there's like a gunfight in the streets of New York, and it's like a war zone. It is just pure cheese.
Yeah. Hey, cheese is a lot of fun sometimes.
Oh yeah. Um, but my favorite part of the Death Wish movies, with the exception of the latest one with Bruce Willis, is that Charles Bronson in the first one, it came out in '73, and he was like in his 50s. Because that's the point, is he's like an older guy and he becomes a vigilante.
Yeah.
Well, Death Wish 5, the last film, the last theatrical release he was in general, came out in '94, like the year I was born. He was like 70, and he's like engaged to a woman who could be his old enough to be his granddaughter. So-
Wow.
and then they have a stunt double dress as him and jump off of a building into a pile of garbage in slow motion. I was howling with laughter.
And okay, Jacob, he says, question for you guys, since you probably have read more of the EU than I have. Is there any EU stories besides Tales of the Bounty Hunters that feature Zuckuss? I think his character was super underused.
Yeah, isn't Zuckuss is force sensitive, if I'm not mistaken, in the EU?
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's in this. You have to understand that, like the West End games and Bantam era, there are a lot of force sensitives out there that just because there's no Jedi anymore, they're just undiscovered. They just have force sensitive abilities. I mean, the little girl in Galaxy of Fear is force sensitive. Just like everyone was like force sensitive. I mean, Kyle Katarn force sensitive. But I can't think of any novels. I can think of some comics he was in.
Yes, I haven't run across them anywhere in the New
Battle.
Republic era. That's the majority of the books that I've read were in the New Republic era and the Old Republic, and I haven't seen him pop up anywhere.
He's in the Shadows of the Empire comic adaptation.
Okay.
And also, I think he's in the Battle of the Bounty Hunters pop-up comic book, but it's been a really long time since I looked at that.
I'm trying to look it up real quick if it comes up anywhere. But it's weird if he's force sensitive. He looks like a giant bug.
Yeah, it's either him or Forlom is force sensitive, but I think Forlom's a robot. Like, these are the two bounty hunters I don't think of a lot because they haven't been ruined in the new canon yet.
Yeah.
Oh, they're in the Marvel comics. If you read the original Marvel comics, they show up in there. All of the bounty hunters that were in Empire Strikes Back show up in the Marvel comics. In fact, all of them show up in issue 108.
They do?
Yeah.
I haven't read. I own it. I haven't read it.
Yeah, they have a brief cameo.
See, okay, it shows up apparently in some of the new kids Star Wars stuff from Adventures, the Adventures series. It's like the young,
the really
like the kiddie type things.
Okay.
And you get the Star Wars, the original trilogy graphic novel, Darth Vader number 16, Empire Strikes Back, obviously, the Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures, Boba Fett, the Bounty Hunter. The Empire Strikes Back, So You Want to Be a Jedi, which that was like the Disney Lucasfilm Press novelization re-release of the film, which is weird. I didn't buy those because I have the actual real novelizations. The Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back Junior novelization, Lego Star Wars Freemaker Adventures. Then I don't see any like novels.
No, I don't think. Yeah, they're underused. Zuckuss and Forlom. I mean, you get a bunch of stuff with Dengar in it. Well, not so much Dengar, but Dengar is kind of pivotal in the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy. Bosk, of course, is like Chewbacca's nemesis. And Boba Fett.
So Zuckuss is interesting because he was a bounty hunter for that worked with the rebels.
Yes, but you would not know that from the original Marvel Comics series. they're just all those bounty hunters are just straight bad guys.
He's a findsman from the planet Gand. Sorry, I'm leaning so close to my computer I can barely read it. Who can detect people with the Force.
Okay, yeah.
So strange.
You have to understand that, like, the Tales books, I don't remember a lot of them, like a lot of the Tales stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could probably remember a handful. The one that comes most clear is from Tales from Jabba's Palace, the Mara Jade one.
Yeah.
But that's because that's annoying to me that, like, Timothy Zahn shoehorned Mara Jade into Jabba's palace.
Yeah, I think it's like the biggest complaint a lot of people had about that.
To me, I think it's 50-50 because, you know, you have the diehard Mara Jade fans, and it also, I did enjoy, Shannon McRandall did a photo shoot where she was the Jabba's palace dancer, and I thought that was fun. Did you read Star Wars Insider in the 90s?
I did not. No.
Okay. I used to have, oh gosh, I started, because I was like 3 when we started collecting Star Wars Insider, so 1997.
Yeah.
It was my mom's, and then she just gave them to me, and we just had them for the whole prequel trilogy. And I dropped off when the Clone Wars came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they also, Titan books, they were expensive.
Yeah.
Like, compared to how they were when they was run by Lucas, the Lucas Fan Club, because it was actually originally, it wasn't Star Wars Insider, it was Lucas Fan Club magazine. Because
like hyperspace, I think, didn't they call it that? Something
hyperspace was all, they had hyperspace fiction in them. But, like, the Lucas Fan Club magazine was, like, you had stuff from Willow, you had stuff from Indiana Jones and stuff. And then when the Bantam era hit and then the episode 1 was being written, they switched to Star Wars Insider.
Okay.
Yeah. And then kind of switched back to Indiana Jones when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, but it was still called Star Wars Insider. You said Indiana Jones on the cover, which was weird.
So, can you remember, did they all have short stories within them? Like every episode or every issue?
No, they went through phases. Basically, during the Clone Wars, you'd have like news briefing stories. I remember those. I read all of those. But basically, when a book would come out, you'd get like a chapter 0 for it.
Yeah.
Which, like, things like the Tenebrous Way, which is the prelude to Darth Plagueis. I mean, it kind of happens in the middle of the first chapter. It's Tenebrous's perspective, which is pretty cool. There's a cool Dawn of the Jedi one, I want to say. I think that some of the insider stuff, I think, got collected in the paperbacks.
Yeah. I know, like, they stopped doing it again with the new canon.
Oh yeah, no, I think whether they do like 2, 3.
They did a couple. It's actually it sucks because when I found out that they were doing the short stories, and it was back when I was like, I got to get all the new canon stuff, like including the comics, the junior novels, and all that kind of crap, which I don't do anymore. The short stories that I read were, one of them was okay, and the other one was really good. And I actually got a hold of Titan magazine and was like, hey, can I review some of these short stories? And they'd sent me the magazines for free. But then they announced, we're done. We're no longer doing short stories. I was bummed out, but
yeah,
I figured they probably stopped because Disney's like, we don't know what we're doing with the story, so we can't keep these going.
I know 3 of them got collected when they did that oversized paperback of A New Dawn and Tarkin, which was the apology for A New Dawn and Tarkin being so expensive in hardcover, I want to say.
Yeah.
I had that. I read one of them about Hera. That was a prelude to A New Dawn. But I remember there was one that wasn't collected that was about a reporter meeting Orson Krennic.
Yeah.
Didn't you review that one like a long time ago?
The short, you say the short story?
Yeah, in the Insider.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called, but
it was okay.
Yeah, that was the one that I was referencing to. Was just okay. The one that I really liked, it took place in like this one spot where there was like this electric jungle, like it would just spark and stuff, and the stormtroopers had to guide somebody through there. It was pretty neat.
That's interesting. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, and I know the the Del Rey free samplers books that they give out at the conventions that I've never
You mean
been
the
able to go
number
to.
one Twin Sons donated book?
Do what?
Those get donated. Dylan was telling me about. They got a bunch of them at a book drive one time.
That's funny. But those things are full of. They had a bunch of excerpts from the books that were coming out.
Mhm.
They also put a few short stories in those.
They have to put something in there besides
to keep it
books, otherwise no one would get them.
Right.
Except for no one gets them now.
right. Oh, and I've got 3 of them. I've got I think. Let me see the years. I can't see it from here. Yeah, I've got 3. I think the last one from this year didn't have any short stories in it because that's when they were like, we're not doing short stories anymore. But there's a list. There is a list of short stories that are available now that I can't find anywhere, which is a bummer because I wanted to have all the short stories. But I think the short story stuff with the EU is all available on digital format now. You can get those on your Kindle, and I think some of them are collected in the actual novels too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know which novels I have that have the short stories in them. I needed to search that out because I know that the one that I do know of for sure is the Darth Maul novel. It's the one where he's in Coruscant, causing trouble, hunting down the guy with his robot buddy.
Oh, and Shadowhunter?
Shadowhunter, yeah. The copy that I have has the short story.
Pavin's dad, Lorne Pavin.
Okay, yeah.
I'm reading and I5. I'm reading Shadowhunter right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
See, Jacob says apparently the last time he was seen, we're talking about Zuckus, was Coruscant Mental Institution. So if the EU is continued, his story would be interesting to tell. Yeah.
Here's where you could go with that. I want to jump on that. Let's keep on that for just a minute here. So one of my favorite plot lines that I found out from Crosscurrent and Riptide is that there is a double agent in Luke's Jedi Order. Get Zuckus in there. Figure out who that is. Although it's kind of clear who it is, and I will not spoil that because it's not brought up in Fate of the Jedi at all.
Yeah.
That's one of those plot lines that like I care about. I care about weird crap though.
Sorry if I disappeared.
It's okay.
I'm Matt's whining to me.
He's being a certain type of boy.
If I get him in here for 15, 20 minutes or so. Jacob also said, speaking of Indiana Jones, apparently he has his own EU, but it's called The Expanded Adventures, and that still hasn't been decanonized for Indiana Jones by Disney. We actually, me and you had this conversation.
I love the
privately.
We talked young Indiana Jones a whole bunch because when Matthew was suffering through the Clone Wars, I had already done that, and I was suffering through young Indiana Jones, which 2/3 of that is garbage, but there's a third of it that's really fascinating, and it is bizarre. George wrote out a full Indiana Jones timeline from like he's born in 1899 and like to like the 80s. He's like a really old man with an eye patch. It's wild. But there's a bunch of Indiana Jones novels that were released by Bantam that are I've heard are pretty good. Although I think the one from Steve Perry is pretty bad. And then there's a bunch of young adult novels that I know nothing about. And they did some Marvel comics and some Dark Horse comics. And the Dark Horse comics, as I recall, were really good. But I read them as a kid.
Yeah.
They weren't ones I owned.
The Quality Autism, he's here, but he's late. Hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
No worries there.
Starting.
Uh-oh. What's this?
Oh, it's trouble. A tiny B word.
It is.
Showed up.
Are you still talking?
We're talking Indiana Jones now. Hey, guys, thanks for the emails, guys. Send emails.
I saw that. Let me talk to you about that. I actually thought about getting all of them, like the children's books, everything. It would cost around, estimated at the time, $400 to get everything, comic books and everything, the Dark Horse comic books and everything like that, the old Marvel comic books.
Mhm.
It is all within canon, as I understand, and did have its own story group and was also approved by George. But it was so low key because it came out the same time as Timothy Zahn stuff, but it didn't sell as well. And they still produced some, but not as many because it just wasn't as popular. But it was all within canon. In fact, there was a rule in Indiana Jones that I can't remember. Marcus could never leave the museum because he never goes on an adventure until Last Crusade.
That's funny.
And that was one of their rules that they could not break. They couldn't bring Marcus out. He could be in the books, but he had to stay in the museum. You know, he had to stay in the university. He couldn't go out because his first adventure in a long time was Last Crusade. And so it did have its own little rules and everything, which was really cool. And I thought about getting them. I read the first 2 novels. I thought they were okay, but it just wasn't pulling me in. I went through the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles too, and it could have been done a lot better. But
Oh yeah. Did you hear? Have you heard the rumors for season 3 of Young Indiana Jones?
no,
That Marion was supposed to be in there, and she was supposed to be like a teenager, and he was supposed to be like 20. That's kind of nasty. Like not
weird.
like not like an older teenager, like 14.
What?
Like
So they're going to go back in time because
No.
2 had him in his World War I days, right?
well, no, because she's that much younger than him in George's time. Because George wrote out a whole timeline,
Wow.
and it was like, why does it have to be so like she has to be a joke number that long ago? Why couldn't it be fairly recently? Like it didn't come off that way. And it's like, really? That's weird.
Now I did not know that Germany had 8 official Indiana Jones novels written in German only by Wolfgang Holbein. Thank you, quality, for that. I never even knew about that, but because I didn't look those up. Some of the hardest ones to find are the young adult books. Young Indiana Jones young
Yeah.
adult books are harder, but you can find them all if you search really hard. There's fan club books too. I mean, there's a few things. You know, the comic books were all collected in omnibuses, which when I last checked were pretty cheap.
Expensive.
Oh, really? They're expensive
Yeah,
now?
I was trying to collect those right before the fire, and it was like really slow process.
Well, I could have pulled the trigger and got it all, but I decided after I read the first 2 novels, I said, And Jacob, the plan was eventually to go through and read all the Indiana Jones stuff and review it all, but it's okay. It just, in the first, like Timothy Zahn's first 3 novels hit you, man. You're like, I'm in. Well, you think at least the first or second novel they ever put out would hit you, and they just never had a hit. Now, I heard the one about Noah's Ark or something. Noah's Ark was really good. Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. I heard that one is the best one. It seems like anytime they have a biblical MacGuffin, it's going to be a hit, right? Ark of the Covenant, Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Then you have glowing rocks for Temple of Doom and a crystal skull, which really sucked.
Temple
of Scientology episode.
I'm going to argue that Temple of Doom is a good film.
I love Temple of Doom. I'm just saying it pales in comparison to Raiders and Last Crusade. But I love Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom is actually
I never thought it's your favorite.
Mm-hmm. Which it's the one I've seen more often too. I need to revisit the others.
We weren't allowed to watch it for the longest. Obviously,
I wasn't allowed to watch it either.
But that's what made it more special when we finally get to, because my grandmother didn't know that Burger King, if you remember, was selling them for $5 on VHS back in the day.
Really?
My grandmother bought them all, and when we saw Temple of Doom, we're like, oh wow! And that's all we watched at my grandmother's was Temple of Doom over and over and over, because we never got to see it. So it was special. Short Round is hilarious. He's great in it. There's a lot of great stuff. It's a classic scene. Him on the bridge with the sword. It's classic. It's classic
too.
It's got the opening fight with a dance number. I mean, what more could you want?
What movie do you have someone get impaled with a flaming shish kebab?
I'm telling you, it's great.
My favorite things I've ever seen in a movie.
Embarrassingly enough, I was in my late 20s before I realized the club's name was called Obi-Wan. I never caught that.
I never noticed.
Okay, yeah, no one catches that. Oh, by the way, Chris said
I don't
it'll be a cold day on Tatooine before he appears on your channel, Matthew.
Chris,
No.
Pass
you
that
have
message.
no valid points because you said Shatterpoint's good.
He had the invite, and he said no. He says I have better things to do than go to your.
There it is. Quality got it. The Genesis Deluge. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I hear that one is the best one. Now, I didn't get to that one because that's like the third or fourth book in the series. And I probably should have gone to that one, and maybe it would have convinced me to buy the rest. But I got the first two and then stopped. But also within the canon, if you're talking about books that fit within the canon, because Indiana Jones does. It does. And then, like I said, I just recently found out that Highlander novels also fit within the canon. This is the
got 'em
first.
in.
Well, I'm missing 3 right now. They're still coming in. They'll be in next week. So I'm super excited to start reading them. I don't think there's an order to these, but if they're
Gotta verify.
I think they take place between seasons 1 and 2.
well, technically they take place in the past. I think all of them, because they're always flashbacks. But yes, it's probably during the seasons. But I'm going to read them in publication order and then see if there's a chronological order. There may be one online. But what's interesting, and I didn't know about Smallville. See, the thing is though, Chris, Smallville sucks.
Yes, outside.
I watched every episode, and I liked Lex Luthor. And when he was dead, it was not worth it. I like Jonathan Kent too. I thought Jonathan Kent was solid, but then they killed him off. But interesting, and I want to know who else. This girl, Jennifer Robertson, anyone know her name? Does this name sound familiar? Star Wars fans, think deep. She wrote in the Tales books.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
So I'm wondering, and I don't recognize any of these other names, but I recognized her name. She wrote this novel, and if I remember right, Kevin J. Anderson, who edited all of them, he brought people. I know a lot of them from Star Trek books. I don't think I mentioned this in my reviews, but a lot of these were Star Trek writers that he wanted to give a shot and get them into Star Wars. Kevin J. Anderson was all for giving all these other authors a chance and trying to get them contracts with Bantam at the time to write Star Wars books, which sadly is how Vonda M. McIntyre probably got her start in there. But that is definitely how A.C. Crispin, who was a Star Trek writer, got her start. It's all because of Kevin J. Anderson. He hooked her up.
TheGeeksAttic. That is the other person who wrote an Alien movie novelization. She wrote Alien Resurrections movie novelization, whereas Alan Dean Foster wrote all the other ones, except for Prometheus. Prometheus does not have a movie novelization. Sorry to like back.
Strange.
Okay, thanks for interrupting me to go back to your topic.
It's all right. Thanks for interrupting.
Indiana Jones books.
Headphones.
Bring it, AD. It's not my stream.
With these, what is it? What did he say? I think the webcam.
He said he thinks his webcam will work.
I can't.
He's got a bat signal in the back. Why the heck not?
Yeah. AD lives in Oklahoma too. I've never met him either.
Oklahoma.
But the Indiana Jones novels, I actually found them at the used bookstore at one time. They had all of them, and when I did find them, I sent Jeremy the picture. I was like, "Look at these!"
Oh, I was screaming on the inside.
Yeah. And he's like, "Get them!" And I was like, already got home, and I was like, "Yeah, I passed."
Yeah, I just like if I had them all again, and I could pull the trigger, I might have done it back in the day. Now, no. But quality. Did you read the Genesis Deluge, and is it good? Because I do hear that's the best one. And then there was a newer one that came out, the Cannibal. That was the Steve Perry one. What was it called?
I heard that was bad.
You heard it was bad? Okay.
Yeah.
That was the Dead, something of the Dead or something like that. I can't remember what it was called.
It's got the lowest Amazon rating.
Okay. Well, I heard Genesis Deluge is the best, and I should have read that one. Are there any stories with my boy Zuckus other than Tales of the Bounty Hunters? No, sadly. I mean, he makes some guest stars here and there, but sadly, he gets largely ignored after. And he has a great story in Tales of the Jedi. Now, he is mentioned or seen a little bit in Young Jedi Knights, correct, Jeremy?
I couldn't remember. I remember showing up in the Marvel comics.
Okay.
And I think he was in the comic adaptation of Shadows of the Empire. I know he was. But he may have been in the Battle of the Bounty Hunters pop-up comic book.
Yeah, he was, and he was in a few other things, a few other issues of the Shazzy Empire thing. But the thing is, though, a true story. Growing up, Boba Fett was not maybe my little brother's favorite bounty hunter. I mean, now we would all say Boba Fett, but back in the day, Forlorn, man,
Boba
he
Fett's
was
your
my
favorite?
bounty. Forlorn was my favorite. I thought he was the coolest looking bounty hunter, and I made him stronger than both. I mean, he was the most nastiest. Because I didn't know his backstory, and I said, "Man, this guy looks cooler than this Boba Fett guy." And Dwayne, a friend of mine, Bosk was his favorite because Bosk was a cool reptile. He said he looks like the meanest mamma jamma. He said he's got to be the best bounty hunter. My brother, true story, loves Zuckuss. Loved Zuckuss. Thought Zuckuss was the best bounty hunter. It's funny, none of us said Boba Fett. Like I said, my other brother may have liked Boba Fett, but none of us liked IG-88 either. We thought he was a tool. Plus, he was a very common bounty hunter to find. No one really wanted. It was a droid. Is basically what it was. We didn't get the whole assassin, droid out of it. The cool look at it now, but they made him a lot cooler. But back in the day, I was a Forlorn fan. My brother was a Zuckuss fan. That was his favorite. And we had Boba Fett too, but my little brother played with Boba Fett because we didn't care about Boba Fett. So this whole thing that Boba Fett was all the rage back in the 80s and stuff, early 80s, not true in our family. Not true in a lot of families too. See, and also back in the day, it's a lie when people said, I've always been a Han Solo fan. When we played Star Wars as kids, everyone wanted to be Luke Skywalker because he had the Force, he had the lightsaber, he was the coolest mamma jam around. No one wanted to be Han Solo. No one. I'm telling you, my neighborhood, that we said, okay, you're New Hope Luke Skywalker, you're Empire Strike. Seriously, you're Empire Strike Star Wars. I'm Return of the Jedi Skywalker. That's how we played Star Wars. I don't remember anyone saying, "Oh, I want Han so bad. I want to be Han Solo." I mean, yeah, every once in a while, someone just said, "Well, I'll be Han." Cool, because you could pretend to pilot the Millennium Falcon, which in our old house was my dad would jump off all these logs for the winter and chop the logs, but he'd let us build a spaceship with like scanners. We get our crayons out and put a keyboard, and that became our Millennium Falcon. And that was the only time. Hi, AD.
Brian. Welcome.
But anyway, so he my brother won't be Han Solo when we had the Millennium Falcon out, and then we forced my little brother to be Lando. Even though now it's kind of wild because I would beg to be Lando.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But he's like, "Why do I have to be Lando?" I said, "Because you can't. We're out of Luke Skywalker's." We did the same thing for Princess Leia. If we had more than one girl there, you're Princess Leia from New Hope. You're Princess Leia from, Empire Strikes Back. You're Princess Leia.
Yeah.
And Bounty Hunter gear. What did y'all think I was going to say?
We had a conversation about the voice of that earlier on the stream because it's the same voice of ET.
So AD, welcome. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's just the link to my YouTube channel. I just started a podcast recently with my cousin. So.
Oh, nice. So are you a big Star Wars reader? You got all the books?
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of the legends lately.
Okay, good. That's awesome. Yeah, Matt, I just invited people in the chat if they wanted to see if they could chime in, and AD responded, said, sure, got his cam up, and yeah, awesome.
Hey, nice to meet you guys, by the way.
Yeah,
hey, nice to be met. Do you mean that for Jeremy? Obviously, you're just talking to me and GeekAttic, right?
Oh, for all of you. For all of you.
Oh, see, I just noticed
please.
Matt today is the Geek's Kitchen. Okay.
I'm the Geek's Kitchen
great.
today.
Great.
I forgot.
Since I ran a Google search for Geek's Basement, nothing popped up.
Oh,
Thought there another red herring in there.
Yeah, should have started that channel.
Dungeon.
I'm telling you, who knows what part of the house I'll be with the Geek next time.
Oh my gosh, the Geek's Urinal.
So 6 Luke is the coolest. Hey, AD, let me ask you a question. Would you be in your 20s or 30s, if you mind saying?
Oh, I just turned 31.
Oh, all right, right on.
Nice.
I asked that because I just wanted to get an age difference between us, and there's not that little over 10 years between us.
And
But,
it's not like when we did the math and we found out you could be my father.
Wow.
The first time we talked, this was a conversation.
I'm waiting for Maury Povich to tell you the truth, Jeremy.
Mm.
Hey, it's not on this.
And the results are in. Anyway, no, Eddie, so you said you read the Expanded Universe, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What was the first book or comic book that got you into it? Or maybe it was a video game. I don't know.
My brother had been recommending Shadows of the Empire for a long time.
Older brother?
Oldest, yeah. He's
Right on.
he's a policeman in Texas. So
Right on.
yeah, he was telling me about it a lot, saying like he explained like, yeah, they explained how Luke got his green lightsaber and all of this stuff. And at that point, I think I read Lords of the Sith, which is a canon novel,
Mhm.
but he kept recommending it. I'm just like, you know what, I'll download it off my Nook, and I read it. And I loved it. So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's just kind of got me. I've been listening
The
to.
Nook. I love it.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore, does it?
I love it. So how old were you when you read Shadows of the Empire? You remember?
28, I believe. It was
Okay. So this was recent.
Yeah, I hadn't read a Star
wow.
Wars book until like a couple of years ago.
I thought you were going to tell me something like, yeah, I was 12 and I read the Prince Caesar, chapter with Princess Leia and the see-through robe and the
It probably would have got me to read a lot more Star Wars books, so I probably would have been disappointed after that.
True story. I was given a buddy of mine. He was 14, 15 at the time,
Mhm.
and I was just giving him Star Wars books. So I thought they were safe, and I gave him Shadows of the Empire. And then I remembered that chapter, and I was like, oh no. Well, his dad called me and left a message on the answer, and he said, hey, Matt, this is Mr. Parker. If you could give me a call back, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to talk to you about something. It has to do with one of your Star Wars books you gave Zach. And I was like, what was that? I didn't get it at first. I was like, what was that? And I went, oh no, I gave him Shadows of the Empire. And he probably read that. I was like so embarrassed because, I'm on good terms with the family. I go over there and eat with him. And he was just young. I mean, he could have been 14, 13 even. And I was like, what? And I remember I was kicking myself saying, why did I do that? I'm such a moron. And so I called him. I said, hey, Mr. Parker. He said, hey, Matt. Hey, look, I wanted to talk to you about the book you just lent Zach. I said, yes, sir. He goes, so he said, I don't know how to tell you this, but Zach tore the cover a little bit. It was an accident, and I'm going to buy you another one. I was like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just give me it right now. Don't open the book to chapter. So I was like, oh my gosh, I was so relieved. I was so relieved because I thought that was it. I am done. He's like, why are you giving my son smut? I could just see this. And I was like, it never happens in the Star Wars book, just that one. And to be honest, I'm the one that forgets about that one bad scene in the movie. And then says, hey, yeah, Mom and Dad, it's a good movie. You should watch it. And then as I'm watching it with them, that one scene pops up. You're like,
super awkward thing. Yeah. Like,
how did I forget this scene? How did you? And when it's coming up, you're going, oh no. How did I forget this? And they're like, son, so you like this movie, huh? Yeah. But you just forget some certain scenes in there. It's like, how did I forget that? Like I told my buddy, he said, hey, is Wolverine? No, Logan. He says, Logan safe for my kid? I went, absolutely. I said, there's cuss words in it. But absolutely. Well, I forgot the limo scene where they're like, hey, and they flash him and everything. I totally forgot that scene. My wife forgot that scene too. I said, hey, it's okay, right? It's just got some violence and some cuss words in it. She went, yeah. I said, yeah, that's why it's rated R. He went, well, my son saw his first pair of boobs. Thank you. I went, what do you mean? He went, the limo scene? I went, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh, I totally forgot about that, dude.
That was Matrix Reloaded with the rave scene.
I actually haven't seen Matrix Reloaded.
Don't love Matrix 1 and stop.
That's all I've seen.
Well, to be honest, 2 without the rave scene. If you take out the rave scene and you take out the very confusing ending to that, the architect, it's actually a good movie.
Oh, you mean the thing that doesn't ever get brought up again? And
that ending is totally pointless. Plus, the rave scene is so out of character from the whole movie. It's like, what is this MTV? What am I watching? It's so weird that they left. It seems like that should be a deleted scene that you should say, wow, what were they smoking? But you take away the architect and you take away the rave scene, and it's actually a pretty good movie, right?
Right.
The playground fight. No, the playground fight with Mr.
The playground fight is fine until they go completely CG, and it looks like
it's that CG of the time, and I'm not going to judge them about that. But I thought it was decent. I think the highway fight is really good. The highway action scene. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Unfortunately, the architect scene where you're going, huh? And they totally dropped that story. And then the rave, which you're really like, Did someone cut this? Am I watching a different movie? I mean, it's just so weird.
And this is on the first one, right? I've seen it a long time ago.
The first one's good. The second one is a big step down, and the third one, its only mistake is it goes out of the Matrix and goes into the future, which I know that's the step they had to take, but the future's so drab and boring that you really don't care.
So they pulled an end game, basically.
And it's kind of him and Mr. Smith are over the that last fight in the rain. It's kind of like you had a better fight with the playground fight.
Yeah,
and this one just isn't as epic as you want it to be, and so I think it's like they used up all their cool action ideas, and they just didn't have anything else to give us. And it's funny because if the third one would have been the first one, I think we would have liked it better because the series would have gone better. But because we were so impressed with the first one, and they did some decent stuff for the second one, the third one it was obvious they were out of cool ideas. I mean, they tried so hard to make that Mr. Anderson Neo fight, but it went to superhero levels when they're flying and boxing. You're like, okay, it's not the Matrix anymore. It's just made up fluff. Yeah, and you're saying, well, Matt, what the playground fights obviously made up too. Them bouncing, him slinging them, bouncing them everywhere. But the thing is, though, it was still centered in reality.
Well, the thing was, we didn't realize how bad it could get, and it just keeps escalating. Whereas we know by the time Revolutions is happening what the stakes are. Honestly, that to me isn't as bad as like the pointless fight in the future where they're in the mech suits. That's dumb. And then the whole, it does a cliche I absolutely hate in films, which is the whole Messiah pose.
Yeah, some of it's spoon-fed for stuff.
Messiah, the whole thing in Revolutions is just.
Yeah. So anyway, the thing is, AD,
the movie I've ever fallen asleep in was The Matrix.
Yeah. Matrix I thought was pretty good. That's fine. Quality's talking about Troy Denning's books are filled with creepy sex stuff, not his Star Wars books.
I mean, what is it? Tatooine Ghost, we have the conception of the twins.
No, we don't.
I mean, it's alluded to, Tatooine Ghost. If you look at the timeline, it makes sense where that...
No, they can see the twins in the Throne book.
No, well, the twins are born in.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. I didn't know that. If it is, I don't recall it.
And then
happy that the stuff in the video game.
Jacob says, "Yeah, thankfully the video game didn't have that scene." In shadows.
What was which legacy of the Force book is Ben getting tortured in by Tahiri, and then Tahiri tries to seduce him?
Are you sure it's Tahiri? I thought it was Val.
I thought it was Tahiri.
Vestra, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the Sith girl he's in love with, kind of.
Hey, AD, I have a random question. Here, you're in the city, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
What bookstore do you usually go to?
I normally go to Half Price Books because it's the one I'm closest to.
On May?
It's by I-240.
Okay.
And I've been to the one on May, but I used to live in the Norman, Oklahoma area, and I used to go to Barnes & Noble all the time, so that was my favorite.
AD, will you do me a favor? If you ever randomly run into Matthew in a bookstore, will you just come up behind him and just kind of blow on his neck gently?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I go to that one too all the time.
You guys can call me Adam, by the way. That's my name.
Okay,
so.
Adam. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Adam.
Nice to meet you all.
Yay! I did see the underground test footage leak today, Jacob. I'd like to talk about that on a Matt chat.
Okay. Yeah, understood.
I have not
watching it
yet, so thank you for not bringing it up on here.
I haven't seen it. I've seen it featured. I just haven't seen it yet.
I only watched it because I wanted to make sure it wasn't fake. It isn't, obviously. But I have thoughts on it, but I want to save that for a Matt chat.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch it. I watched like 4 minutes of it before I turn it off.
It's test footage.
Yeah,
it's not.
I mean, it's no Wheel of Time pilot that's shown at midnight.
I don't want to talk about that. Oh, by the way, chapter 41 of The Great Hunt. You're welcome. You're welcome, America.
I just checked out the audiobook from the library app. I'm gonna try to listen to it.
I got a girl from the parish. We don't have counties here. We have parishes in Louisiana. I got the girl from the parish next door. She has a library card in that parish, and that's
Hey
the parish.
guys, I'm gonna disappear for a second. Okay.
Okay, Batman,
I
go for
got
it.
a kid screaming downstairs. I need to
Go
go
for
help
it.
out.
Go for it. He's off to save the city. There ain't no kid. He's off to save Oklahoma City. Adam, you're protected. You're safe at night because of people like him.
He's the hero we all deserve.
Okay, so anyway, while he's gone, we'll talk about him. No, what was I talking about?
The parish. The girl.
Oh yeah, so she has a library card, and that parish library has it, or their app does. And I don't have it, and I can't get a card because I don't live in that parish. And so she's going to give me her, but she has an outstanding book fee that she has to pay before she can get on the app. But she's going to give me her app code. I said, well, I promise I can't steal anything. It's a library and it's digital. They're going to withdraw it from your account in 2 weeks anyway. But I'm going to get to listen to those Highlander audio dramas.
Oh,
Super
cool.
excited.
Very cool.
Because they're at that library. My other library, no call, no show for almost 5 days now. I'm thinking about storming there, but if they can't get it, they can't get it. So why fight them when it's in the next parish? So, and she's happy giving me her code and everything because it's a library card for crying out loud. It's not like your social.
Now, Matt,
Yeah.
why are they called parishes in Louisiana?
Does anyone in the chat know? Adam, do you know why they call it parishes?
I do not.
Is it
Okay.
because it's based in French common law, not British
Well,
common?
yes, Neapolitan law. Correct. Very good guess. And that's why we're parishes still. We have some other side rules too because we're in a Neapolitan law when it comes to land. I'm really sure y'all want to hear about that. Me being a mortgage trainer, I could spend a good hour, but
I'm always fascinated by these things. But for those viewers, well, none of you probably know, when I was with my not my last ex, my ex before, we actually talked about moving to where Matt lives and being neighbors a long time ago. But
it's fine. Monroe's not a bad place. It's a small town. It's a sleepy little town. It's got some fine stuff. It's got a little bit of let me say, culture. We have a community theater, which I think puts on solid stuff.
Mhm.
I question when they put a lead in a musical who's never been a lead before. That's me. I'm in the next show.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, we do have that. We have a vineyard around here. They make muscadine wine because muscadine grows in Louisiana. It's quite common. I'm not a wine drinker. They make other wines too, but I do hear their wine is superb. It's got a unique taste. The vineyards have concert series in the summer and all the way to the fall till they wrap it up in the winter. It's their off season, but they're going to start back in the spring, and those things pack out, man. And we have a few other fun things to do. Someone said in some of my videos, I make Monroe seem like a winter wonderland around Christmas. It's really not. My videos are kind of deceptive. I make everything seem very charming and nice. I mean, it's okay. We have some okay stuff here, but we're like a small town thing. But we do have a little bit of culture. There's great restaurants, hometown restaurants. I took Jeremy to Traps, one of my favorite restaurants. That was when we set up on the bayou. Had a great view.
Yeah, it was great. I liked it.
Yeah.
The one complaint I had is Dylan and I went there in August, and if you've never been in humidity, like I had never been that close to the equator before. Well, I mean, like kind of. I've been to Los Angeles before, but that's more smog, dry heat. But like you step off the plane, and it's like being slapped by the air.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'll be honest, the summers are pretty rough because the humidity, and then of course it's swampland, so we're gonna have mosquitoes. No, alligators do not walk around the streets here.
That's
Yes, we have floods, and when we flood, your whole house goes. But you just need to be smart and not buy a house in a flood zone. People buy houses in flood zones all the time, but they shouldn't. You should definitely avoid it, but you go for it because it's so daggum cheap and it's such a nice looking house. Yeah, it's going to look great when it's 6 feet underwater too. And then you move away because you're like, screw this. This is awful. But the other thing is when it does flood, yes, there are little alligators here and there. Nothing dangerous though. In fact, the only time, and I thought was funny, a city gave out a warning because there were some baby alligators that had gone out, escaped. The big alligators went right back. They're not staying out there. They don't want to eat people. They want to swim and be cool because it's hot. But All right, watch this. So anyway, guys, that is my top 5 naked sites to go to.
I was on.
Just kidding, Matthew. I wanted to see your face. Okay.
I'm surprised you guys are still here. Sorry about that.
Okay. Anyway, no, but the city had to send out an edict to say, hey, stop taking selfies with baby alligators. Because people would pick up the baby because they're so cute. You pick up a baby alligator, you smile with it. And they said, don't do that because they can still bite. I mean, they still got biters, but they're so cute. They're so tiny. We're not scared of alligators. In fact, true story, we love our crawfish. Crawfish, when it's heavy rains, they're in ditches a lot, so they'll be crawling out of ditches. I remember, this is a true story, everyone started turning into this gas station. There were cars everywhere, not around the gas station pump, but just in the gas station carport. I was like, what's going on? They had Walmart bags. They were getting out Walmart bags out of the car because we all keep Walmart bags in our car, empty Walmart bags. I do too. And so then what do? They're picking up the crawfish. They're crawling out from the ditch and digging into the ditch to grab the crawfish. Dude, that's free eating. That's free food. And so they're all, and I was like, I pulled over to see what's going on because people are just running like they're giving away it's like $100 bills just lying on the ground, and they're just grabbing and they're getting bags of live crawfish. And they go, honey, get another bag. And like, we got supper tonight. No, we're serious here. And the thing is, everyone was, because it's free. We eat crawfish like pizza here. I mean, crawfish is something, and I'll be honest, crawfish is like a tasty, spicy shrimp. It looks disgusting.
See, and JM has a problem with the Chinese communists eating whole bats and creating the coronavirus. Jay. See what
the virus that's actually the virus that's happening is the zombie virus. That's what's going on over there. That's The Walking Dead.
It's the virus.
But anyway,
wait for what comes out of Louisiana.
Jeremy, did you have crawfish when you were down here?
Yes, I made sure to have crawfish.
Okay, it takes a while to get used to cracking it, and I'm proud of you because I can't remember it because I usually take people to go get crawfish too. But after a while, you snap it, bite the tail, pull the scale off, and you can just go for it. Man, it takes a while to get used to it, but it's like, huh?
It's easier than eating crab, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's much easier once you get used to the hang of it, and it's just so tasty. And man, if they put potatoes and corn in it, that potato soaks up all that juice, and it's so good. Now, I have sucked on the head of a crawfish before. It's just juicy. Not really my thing, though. I mean, it's fine. Some people do it because they just want to suck out that juice. You can maybe get an eyeball or two. It don't matter. But the tails are where it's at.
Protein.
They're very. Say what?
Exactly.
More protein.
Yeah, there you go. But it is really tasty. So, and there's like etouffee. There's gumbo. Even though you only need to eat my mom's gumbo. And did mom make
your mom made jambalaya?
She made the jambalaya. Yes. My mom, and that's not technically a Louisiana jambalaya. Louisiana jambalaya usually has tomato in it and it's a red. My mom makes a gray jambalaya. It is the best thing in the world.
It's one of the best things I've ever eaten ever.
I swear to you, I could eat that every day. But the thing is, and I knew she would make it for y'all. But she only makes it usually once a year, and that's on my birthday. Oh no, she makes it when we go on vacation too. So we only eat it twice a year because she used to make it all the time because we all used to ask for it, and then she said, "No, I'm not making that anymore. I want to make different stuff." So when we get it, and there's never any leftovers. There's always leftovers for her other dishes. There's never leftovers for.
Dude, I ate so much food.
Her jambalaya. Her jambalaya is really good.
Does it have seafood in it, or?
Well, it can. My mom's I think it has chicken, black olives, mushrooms. Hold on. Let me make sure. Green onions, I think, or something in it. It's mixed with rice, of course. And what you do, and it's got the little chicken chunks in it. And the thing is, you put some hot sauce on that, man. I have mine swimming in hot sauce. But the thing is, it is just so tasty, bite after bite after bite. And I just can't explain it. I'm like, for my cast, for the show I'm in, I'm going to ask her if she'll make a big old vat of it for them because I want to bring it to the cast and, get some garlic bread, get some jambalaya, maybe get some green beans and have a meal. But that jambalaya, I'm not doing it for the cast. I'm doing it for me.
Right.
I'm just using the cast as an excuse for more jambalaya because it's hard to get her to make it. She's like, I always want that. I want to make different things. My mom makes a mean muffaletta. I love her muffalettas too. That's the second favorite thing that she makes. That's the Louisiana thing, and she does an awesome job with that. Muffaletta, hers are on Hawaiian bread, which you don't know is like a sweet bread, sort of. It has a layer of olive. What's the olive chutney? The mix, the olive has some of that spread on it. Has some brown mustard. Has pepperoni on it, and I'm trying to think what else she puts on it. But cheese. There's cheese, and it gets melted, so it's served warm, and it's cut like a pie. Because that is a big round King's Hawaiian loaf, and it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Of course, I think everyone's mom can do some kind of dish that we all love, probably, but
not mine. I don't know what happened. My grandmother, fantastic cook. My mom makes everything out of a box. My dad can make a handful of things. And I cook my cooking is edible. It's fairly decent, but like my mom's at this point, my mom just doesn't cook anything anymore. It's the strangest thing. Like we hit like high school, like I hit high school. My mom just stopped cooking food. You just fend for yourself all the time. It was the strangest thing, and I'm like, was it that good to begin with?
Jacob says he's pretty sure Dagobah is Louisiana Star Wars. Yeah, some of the swamps can be, except it's hot. And
I got Chris said I should do a video of you doing a tour of Louisiana. I'll do a little snip out. Like I don't know if you guys noticed, I did a little snip out.
Yeah, I love those.
Taking stuff out of the video. I'll have to do a little Matt Talks Louisiana. But
that's the thing. It's nice. It's not. Is it the nicest place in the world? No, it's not. I'm not kidding myself. But there are good. But there are good people here. It's quaint. I do like smaller towns. I'm a bigger fan of Mississippi because I'm from Mississippi. I think Mississippi feels like an old pair of jeans that's just right, worn in just right. That's what it feels. It feels comfortable to me, and I always feel at home wherever I am in Mississippi. But I do like Monroe. I'll also do a video edit that mentions Jimmy wanting to move to Monroe with his ex, and later talking about visiting Monroe with Dylan. I think he said.
Like Oklahoma City, it's like how you're talking. It's that comfort. Like I moved to a small town, Tahlequah, Oklahoma, for college, and it drove me crazy. I could not wait to get back.
I think there's enough to do in Monroe that won't drive you crazy. But the thing is, though, when you're say what?
I'd second that. It's like not completely like a small town. You got the college town vibe in there as well. You've got all sorts of.
You've got your movie theater that's nice. You've got because it's like 10 or 12 screens. You got another movie theater that's not so nice, but it's cheaper. It's in the mall. You've got you've got a mall which is dying, just like every mall in America, but it's not as bad. There's not that many empty stores. They're on the wings, a few empty stores on the wings, but it is dying like every mall is. But you got some interesting things. You got those activity centers, where you have the zip lines, the little jumping trampoline area parks and stuff like that. So you got enough that's going on. Have you ever heard of Long Beach, Mississippi? Is that south? No. Biloxi. Oh, by the way, our beaches are not nice. Biloxi, it's not sand. It is mud. I don't care what they say. It's dirt and mud. It's not beautiful. Biloxi beaches are not beautiful.
That's one thing about California that I love is like you get different types of almost every topography except for a jungle. California, like you got Death Valley, which is like your hottest desert. You got beach. You got the redwoods. You got like the woods, like pine woods.
Yep, Yub Nubs keeps bothering me. He wants to go there. So,
dude, we can probably figure out where specifically Return of the Jedi was filmed.
We'll just look for the speeder bike wreckage.
Well, I think I found it at one point. I think I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
Hiking around in there, like I got lost in there. Which one thing about the redwoods they don't tell you about is there's these giant banana slugs everywhere. Just these huge slugs, and it's the nastiest thing. They look like what Ron Weasley's throwing up in Chamber of Secrets. Like I didn't think that slugs were that big. That they are is the nasty.
Were you gonna say something, AD?
Yeah,
Adam.
I was gonna say, I hope for you guys the weather is better for you than it is for us in Oklahoma. It's horrible. It's
crazy.
It's rainy, it's wet, and it's slightly cold, meaning the 50s, which is cold for us. But the humidity makes things colder. I talked to a girl from Brazil today, and she said she's really struggling with the cold here because it's never cold in Brazil.
I think rainy, sleet, and snow and cold is a Tuesday for us, and then it's sunny the next day.
Yeah,
It's funny.
supposed to be. It's like 31 right now. Saturday's supposed to be in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So Chris's grandfather, it was right next to Biloxi. Okay. Is Long Beach nice? Because Biloxi's beaches aren't nice. But you know what? Oddly enough, Alabama's beaches are beautiful. Beautiful. Best kept secret. They're basically Florida beaches. I mean, they're really nice. And it's much cheaper to stay there than it is in Florida Beach.
Yeah, I went to Pensacola with my wife over Christmas, and we went to Pensacola Beach. It was really fun.
Pensacola's really, they've gotten nicer since I went there growing up back in the 80s and the early to mid 90s. And then that hurricane came in and wiped out every beach house on the peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they rebuilt, and it got way expensive because the rich people moved in, and they really upgraded the place. The place looks much better than when I was there, but it lost that old, because I mean, we were still standing in buildings that were made probably in the 50s back then. You know, we were in those old school buildings. It was kind of run down, but it was quaint. It was nice. Pensacola was still a nice place, and they have that Bushwhacker Festival in August, which is huge. But I go to Gulf Shores, Alabama now, and it's just one. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love Gulf Shores.
I don't think I've been out there, but sounds nice from what you've been describing.
Pensacola's nice. In fact, Norm from the Board Game Museum lives out around there. If anyone plays board games and knows his YouTube channel, and I'll go when I travel to Gulf Shores. Pensacola's like only an hour away, and that's when I go visit him, and that's when we do our videos together, our collaborations. Because the thing is, I found out I pinpointed where he was because he went to a used bookstore or something like that, and I was like, I know exactly where you are. And I kind of creeped him out in the comments and went, I know exactly where that is. You live in Pensacola, don't you? He's like, well, I live right outside Pensacola. Yeah. Like, okay, creeper. I was like, can you send me a lock of your hair? Oh, wait, you're bald. I love Norm. He's a great guy. All American Cornbread, which has probably one of the best YouTube handles I've seen. I'm from Alabama and love Gulf Shores. All American Cornbread. Can you let me know where? My grandmother lives in Mobile. Well, Daphne. So I have family around the Mobile Daphne area, and we go visit there every year. And then my other grandmother was from Gadsden, which was North Alabama, and we used to go there. But now I don't have any family there. I've been to Montgomery, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, War Eagle.
Excuse me.
Humboldt, also known as having Humboldt State the marijuana college of California, because Humboldt County is just weed. I mean, I don't know now because marijuana is legal here for recreational use, so I don't know how much money that county makes now based on that, but it used to just be like woodsy marijuana people.
Check it out. He's originally from Mobile. Hey, All American Cornbread. My true story, my grandfather worked at the Mobile Press Register for his entire life and retired mid-90s, I want to say, or early 90s maybe. Or maybe it's late 80s. I can't remember, but he retired right before the internet was big, right before newspapers were being threatened. So he was back in the big days when newspapers used to have two issues. The Evening Post, the Morning Post and the Evening Post would come out. And he was a big believer in the newspaper. And he passed away in the early 2000s, right before internet started threatening newspapers. So in a way, like I miss my grandfather, but in a way, he never saw the decline of newspapers. It really would have hurt his heart to see how far newspapers have fallen, because the newspaper was the only true way to get news. The only true way.
Yeah, I remember growing up watching my dad every Saturday morning reading the newspaper, and I haven't seen him do that in like 5 years.
No. Yeah. My dad was the last person in the world to cancel his newspaper subscription, but he didn't realize that the internet just had things. And the thing is, local newspapers don't get it. Put local news. The world isn't reporting on local news. No one's reporting what's happening in Louisiana, Monroe. Go ahead and just put that news in there. Seriously, local news is the only thing that I look up anymore. That if I want to look up a newspaper, but they don't want to do that. They want to report on, oh, here's going on at the White House. Yeah, we know that, doofus.
Yeah,
It's
we saw that
everywhere.
yesterday.
Give me local news. And there's two papers here, and they're both really small. But the other one is selling a little bit. I don't know if they're selling a little bit better, but I know they're selling pretty decent. My buddy works for that newspaper, but they focus on local politics, local news, stuff like that. And that's what people want to read about because you can't get that on CBS or Fox or NBC or CNN.
Seems like the only way that you can get local news is when people in your area post about it on Facebook.
You post about it on Facebook, or you look at the local, TV stations, which we have several, but
most local stations now stream.
Yeah.
And local stations stream and they have things on their website. But the thing is, though, local stations don't cover that much local news, and they definitely don't put it on their website.
We do here.
Here they put little snippets, and I'm friends with the morning host guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's a cool dude. I actually had the first time they came in. I knew the girl. I was like, man, she looks familiar, and she's at my house playing board games. I'm like, man, that girl looks familiar. Well, she was wearing glasses. When she goes on the morning show, she doesn't wear glasses. So, it's like Clark Kent, Superman. I couldn't tell the difference. And so the next morning, and see, I would go work out in the mornings, and I'd watch her every morning. And that's why I kept looking at her at my house. I was like, what's your name again? It's like, I don't know that name. Yeah, I do, doofus. You see her every morning. Well, the next morning I'm on the treadmill, and I see her. I was like, holy crap. And I text my buddy and said, hey, was Jessica Robert? He said, yeah. I said, she's on TV. He went, yeah, she's the morning host of the show. I said, dude, she was at my house last night. And I kept looking at her like, I think I know you. Yeah, doofus, you see her every morning.
Some people always
funny.
Give people in like the Superman's like, oh man, they're all idiots. They can't recognize them. Here we are with an idiot in the chat room.
Yeah, that's me. I think Clark Kent has the weakest disguise of, oh look, without the glasses, I'm Superman.
It's true.
But the thing is though, when she was wearing glasses, I knew she looked familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint her. I knew her name too, but I didn't know how to pronounce her last. Her last name was like Kanawaka or something like that, and I'd never heard it. But I'd see her every morning on the morning show, and then when the next morning I saw her, I was like,
it's funny.
It's her. So it is kind of funny though. You run into those people. I ran to at San Diego Comic-Con. I ran slap dab. Didn't even see her. Eva Mendez. Is that her name? Eva Mendez.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran into her. Didn't know who she was. She's incredibly short, and I was like, oh, excuse me. And she looked at me like, oh, is he going to ask for an autograph? I didn't know who she was. I just walked away. And then she opened the door that I came out of, and everyone went nuts. Went, oh, rats. That was so important. And I couldn't remember who she was. And when I got home, I realized that it's back in the Blockbuster days. I'd left the VHS that I watched. I'd do a chick flick night with my little sister. I'd bring her over to the house, and we'd watch a chick flick together. Her pick. And she picked Hitch. Eva Mendez is the romantic interest. And while I was driving back to give Blockbuster their late fee money, I went, holy crap, that's the girl I bumped into. And then Blockbuster was looking at me like, yeah, whatever. It's like, no, I was at Comic-Con last week. That's who she was. I couldn't think of her.
That's funny. Hey, Adam, did you get a chance to go see Rebecca Roanhorse, the writer of Resistance Reborn, when she came here to Oklahoma City?
I did not. No, I didn't even know she was in here. No.
Yeah, there's some bookstore that I'd never heard of until she announced it on her Twitter. I can't even think of the name of the thing now, but it's downtown. I've always thought there was just Barnes and Noble. There's the Full Circle bookstore.
Yeah, my wife likes to go to that one.
Yeah,
And that book was really terrible.
Commonplace Books is what it's called. Downtown.
Commonplace Books.
It was pretty neat. But Jeremy hates Resistance Reborn.
That book,
Even though it's the most EU.
I will. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that was the last book I listened to before Rise of Skywalker on Audible, and I drifted in and out. I couldn't keep my attention, so I'm not even 100% sure what happened in the book. So
the correct answer is nothing happened because she was
yeah,
not right about the movie characters.
It's true.
Frustrating, except for we got to have our Temid Wexley story and him and Wedge and how Wedge is his father figure, and then Wedge shows up for 2 seconds in The Rise of Skywalker. And
honestly,
I don't even think it was 2 seconds.
The only thing that I remember from that book is that Wedge trained Poe Dameron. That's it.
Yeah, that's I
Rise
think
of
that was
Palpatine.
already established. I don't think she came up with that. I think that
I
was.
think what I think is cool about it and sad at the same time is that it was like it's the most EU book in the new canon because it brings in so much of
Well,
different characters, different places, all into this one book. But then at the end, it just falls apart and it goes into a movie that doesn't tie anything.
It doesn't know. Like,
the
I was-
thing is, oh, go on.
oh, I was just gonna say, it's just like people are like, you. It's like we needed to read this book. Why for the Rise of Skywalker? And like, it had nothing of significant value.
It just teased a bunch of familiar characters, and then we got the movie.
It was
None
like
of those characters.
it was like they tried. They told her, you know the Zahn books, Spectre of the Past and Vision of the Future. Combine the thematic elements of those into one short book, and then tie in all of these new canon books that should have been tying in before this. And you need to fix all these things. I felt bad for her the whole time reading it, and I'm like, what a terrible job to give someone for their first Star Wars book.
Definitely
Yeah.
had to have been restricted on what she could write about.
I mean, like, what, Rey gets in a gunfight, and that's the only thing she does, except for have a pointless conversation about Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Finn eats some shellfish. Rose is just being annoying Rose, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I couldn't keep my focus with it, and I just kind of tuned out. And I was just like, well, I'll try to finish it. Maybe I'll pick up something. And no. And oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I was gonna say, quality autism asked if Wedge died in The Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. Nobody even knows if
No,
Nine Num died.
Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon doesn't blow up. He's the
He
gunner.
was in the Falcon.
Yeah, he's in the Falcon. He's,
Matt, you've seen the movie a couple times. He was in the Falcon.
Me?
Who was in the Falcon?
Oh,
I don't know. Rise of Skywalker?
Matt Wilkins has seen the Rise of Skywalker 20
No.
times.
No, it was called Batman:
Wow.
The Rise of Batman, and it sucked. It had Bane in it.
actually, that had some of the biggest medical breakthroughs I've ever seen in a film. Someone gets punched in the back and they don't have knee problems anymore.
That just, yeah. If I knew that a monk could cure me by punching me in the spine,
you'd be like, I'll have what he's
Stupid.
having, you know.
Yeah.
stupidest little thing. And the thing is, I love Batman. I want Batman to be good. Do I think Robert Pattinson will be a good Batman? I don't know. I don't think so. But the thing is, I'm going to give Batman a shot because I want to like Batman. But this whole ridiculous, oh, let's put Batman in the real world. No, don't. It's a pretend. I think that's why I think Tim Burton's vision is the closest to the comic book. I think it's great that penguins are walking around strapped with missiles on their backs.
Yeah.
That's Batman. I think
so
there's some goofiness. There's that 50s noir look to it. And Tim Burton captured that, and I loved it.
That violence of the golden age of Batman in there. Like the really dark, heavy stuff is in there.
I saw that he was his Batmobile is supposed to be a muscle car.
Hey, Matthew, is it true that you also hate Ryan Kennel?
No. I'm scheduling things out. I got.
No, that's not what I heard.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear that. I heard that. Oh, you see,
What's going on in here?
Speak his name.
There he is. And we
There
got
I
Christopher
love
saying
that
that
comment.
Palpatine.
Chris, you're like the two old guys up on the balcony at the Muppet. You're watching the Muppet Show here, and you're making the
Battler
great.
Waldorf, yeah.
You're making the witty comments from the balcony.
See, Quality Autism says, would you guys agree that Dark Empire is better than The Rise of Skywalker? I actually haven't
Absolutely,
read
I've
it.
never even seen the movie.
I've
never
read it.
Dark Empire.
I have.
I haven't.
I
You
love
have?
Empire.
Yeah, I haven't read.
Adam, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't want to spoil it, but there was just some things about it that I was just like, how does like cloning and everything and essence transfer and everything? It was just. Go ahead.
I'm laughing at a comment, but no, essence transfer and everything. Was it too weird for you?
It just, I don't know. It just didn't really seem like that's how Palpatine would cheat death, so to speak. Well, actually, no. That happened in Legends with Revan, like with Vitiate. So okay, I guess I forgot about that. So
Yeah, because if you think about, and I'm not going to defend the story if you didn't like it, that's fine.
oh
But
no,
I'm
I
just
like
saying
it.
it did make sense because of course Palpatine has an interest in the clones,
Right.
and so it makes
Oh
sense that he
yeah,
would try
yeah.
to he's trying to cheat death. So if
Hmm.
clones are the way to do it, that's the way and transfer his Force essence in there. That's fine.
I
And then
mean,
he realizes later on, if have you read Dark Empire 2 and Empire's End?
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
Okay, well you realize he realizes that, oh, this isn't working. I need to inhabit a real body and yada yada yada. I don't want to ruin anything, but real quick, All American Cornbread said that Batman movies lacked the gothic horror setting. I don't know which movies you're referring to. If you're talking about Christopher Nolan's, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
Christopher Nolan's, they wouldn't even call Catwoman.
Right.
Yeah,
They just-
she was like what, the cat or something?
She's a
But-
cat burglar. That's what she's referred to as. And then
But-
she has the goggles that flip up into little cat ears.
And then quality, I want to talk about your comment here. Burton didn't care about Batman's character. Okay, Batman has no character. Bruce Wayne has the character. And I think he did care about Bruce Wayne's character. Now, did he care about the villains? Yes, absolutely. He really did focus on villains. You are correct. And the villains looked spot on for that. But I would argue that Batman's character is he has no character. It's whoever plays Bruce Wayne. And then I would also argue that Michael Keaton put up a pretty good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
He did the duality.
And Batman, but also the suit was a kind of a fail because they couldn't figure out how to get his neck to twist in it.
Yeah.
I thought they did it on purpose to make it look jerky. It's the
Maybe
one
so. Yeah.
that Christopher Nolan movies did right was the head turns. It's like the only thing I like about that suit because that suit's dumb. With the plates that have the gaps in them, so she can get stabbed 2 movies later between the plates. That's dumb.
Yeah.
And that's dumb foreshadowing too.
That's just Ryan has it right there, man. Dual
Mhm.
canon of the future. Spoken like a true buffoon, man. Thank you.
Oh man, Christopher liked that one.
Yeah, that's funny. See, there it is. There's the two. Ryan's the other guy in the balcony joining Chris
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So, Jacob, I'd rather watch a movie about the Luke Skywalker than the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Let me
How did
ask-
you guys read that when you read it? Did you read it with just like Luke, or did you do the stupid little Luke?
Me?
That's how
Oh,
was it Mark Thompson pronounces it in the Last Command audiobook is Lauk.
Lauk, what?
Yeah, because it's 2 U.
Thrawn trilogy. The Luke
Man.
clone.
I totally agree with Chris that Dark Knight Rises was horrible. Quality, the reason, okay, that's fine. He got overshadowed by Joker and Penguin. That's because they had to do their origin stories.
Yeah.
And they basically skipped Batman's, which was a good move.
Yes, we
A
don't.
very good. I mean, they did flashbacks, but they didn't say, here's how I became Batman. But the reason that Joker and Penguin get in the spotlight, and even Catwoman, is because they have to do their origins there. And I do agree with you there. There's more focus on the villains in that case, but that's because we had to do origins on them. I still think Tim Burton's version is the best. I mean, does anyone disagree with that? I'd like to hear.
No. Have you all heard who the cast for what was it, Batman Forever, if Tim Burton was allowed to direct it? With Robin Williams as the Riddler.
I heard like Marlon Wayne's going to be Robin.
Yeah.
I'd have been fine with all those choices. I wanted to see a Robin. Period. Is there test footage with him as Robin, or is
I
that
haven't
just a
seen it.
rumor?
I know
Unfounded
there's
rumor.
footage of Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Dude, did you see that documentary?
Yes.
That's a great documentary.
It is. I'm glad that movie never got made, but like
Well, yeah. Oh, look at this. What's this?
The Batman Murders. No, I
Oh.
haven't read it yet.
I got something like that. One
But
second.
this is the book that I mentioned on our last Batman discussion.
Jacob, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face is a tragedy. Unfortunately, though, McDonald's forced them to make him happy and Joker-like. I think Tommy Lee Jones would have been a great Two-Face if he would have been allowed to play the character.
I wanted Billy D. Williams to be Two-Face.
Hold on just a minute, Adam.
Yes.
Is that book good? Because the comic book is great. Does it give more than the comics?
I haven't finished it yet, but I've
Oh,
only read
okay.
like a few chapters. But yeah, it like goes into like this whole chapter about like the process of like Robin going down to the Batcave, and like the psychology of like whenever he enters the Batcave, he is not Tim Drake, he is Robin. Like don't stuff like that, and it talks a little bit about like Bane's relationship with his henchman named Bird, I think his name is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit extra than that's not in the comic book, because I love the comic book.
Yeah, I haven't even finished all the comic book. I only finished the part where Batman gets his back broken, but
Was that where the book ends? Oh, you don't know, you haven't finished it yet. I'm sorry.
yeah. And there's a couple of others that I want to finish. My wife got me this for Halloween one year. It's where he fights the Scarecrow. It's called Fear Itself.
Mm.
I love the cover of it. And
I don't think about Batman novels. I think I should be thinking about that. Matthew, when are you going to read Batman Murders?
I don't know. After I read a couple more EU books, at least I like I told Jeremy earlier and everybody else that
I'm 55. Go ahead.
I've finished reading that Bleak Creek novel. I'm almost done with the Warcraft novel, and then I've got Queen's Peril, the Disney Lucasfilm Press book, and then I can get back to Rogue Planet. So
Okay.
Matthew with Geek's Kitchen, I think you might like this one. This is called Wayne of Gotham.
Okay.
This I think is supposed to be from two different perspectives, one of Bruce Wayne and one of his father, Thomas Wayne.
Cool.
I haven't finished it yet, but from what I read so far, it's actually a pretty good book so far.
Jacob says that Two-Face is his favorite villain, so Aaron Eckhart's version was really good. I agree with that. Now, I didn't hate Christopher Nolan's. Let me point some things out. There are some good things I liked about Christopher Nolan's movies. Two-Face is one of them. I like the Scarecrow from Batman Begins. I thought he did a good job. Jeremy's shaking his head because he didn't care.
I love Batman Begins. I thought it was a fresh take after Batman and Robin. If you're watching them and
I definitely agree.
Batman Begins, though, I like it up until Batman is introduced. I like all the training.
I would agree with that. There's a lot of things wrong with Batman, but the portrayal of the Scarecrow I thought was good.
Yeah, that's fine. It's Batman himself.
No, I completely agree with that. I think that Two-Face was done. I think Aaron Eckhart did a great job.
Yeah.
I think that the Joker, Heath Ledger, I thought he did a good job, and I was totally against that.
I'm going to throw my unpopular opinion out there.
Go ahead.
I don't think Dark Knight's a good movie. And it definitely does not deserve to be called the superhero Citizen.
Superhero Citizen Kane?
Ever call and
That's
the Citizen Kane of superhero movies is what is now called. And I hate when it's a trope I hate in criticism when you refer to something as the Citizen Kane of its genre. Because Citizen Kane is a nice film. It's one of the best films ever made, but don't call something the Citizen Kane of something. And it would only be, it's like, I call it the Nirvana effect. Nirvana is still popular because Kurt Cobain died. Dark Knight is still popular because Heath Ledger died.
Okay, I like this topic. Hold on just a minute. Let me shift it. Matthew, is there a movie that everyone loves that you don't? And then Adam, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Oh my gosh. Is there a movie that I love that no one else does?
No. Is there a movie that everyone loves and you're like,
everyone loves and I don't?
Like he said, Dark Knight, overrated. And a majority of people would disagree with that.
Well, I guess mine. Avatar. Does that count? Or does it mean
Everyone
it
hates
hates-
Avatar.
Okay. Crap. Does it mean it made all the money? Man, I have to think about
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Airbender. You're talking about
the movie. Like
you're talking about Avatar. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never seen that.
It's
You're
not.
lucky. It's so unoriginal.
It looked like Smurfs grown up, so I didn't want to see it.
Crew meets Dances with Wolves.
Yeah. And what's the director's name? Cameron. James Cameron.
Cameron decided he was an artsy filmmaker instead of an action filmmaker.
He's so cocky. He thinks he's the greatest, which, everybody gives him the money for the movies that he makes. And all his stuff pulls in great numbers, but to me, stuff's just kind of okay. And Avatar sucked because that was like, it took 3 other films. It took, Dances with Wolves. It took that other cartoon Fern Gully. Just
Pocahontas.
stole the plots. And just, let's make blue people.
Dances with Smurfs.
Yeah, pretty much. Dances with Smurfs.
Okay, Adam, what's the popular? Oh yeah, thanks, Ryan. Hey Ryan, hashtag screw the Snyder Cut.
I was just Ryan. I was just trashing Zack Snyder because someone tried to argue with me that Watchmen's a good movie, and I was like, no. I mean, and then they're like, well, it's one of his better movies. I'm like, yeah, it could be called a film. It wasn't Batman versus Superman.
Watchmen would be a good movie if they didn't have the comic book. Okay, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, I think recently it would be The Crimes of Grindelwald. And it wasn't like everybody. It's just like my brother really loved it. My wife loved it. And I told my brother I didn't really like it. And I was like riding in his car one time. And he just said, like, get that out of my car now.
I want you to go deeper because I can't stand any of those new J.K. Rowling movies. I fell asleep in part 1, Beast and Where to Find Him. I fell asleep.
Yeah, that movie's garbage.
Well, it was more of a cinematography thing really than a plot, because I thought the story was fine. It was just more like I just didn't feel like it was properly executed.
I can't care about those characters. I cannot.
And also the thing with Ezra Miller's like reveal of who he really is, like he's pretty much the Rey of Harry Potter, and I just kind of felt like it was just kind of a mess. And my wife actually recently rewatched it, and she was just like, "Huh, I see it now."
Well, so the director of that film directed Harry Potter 5 on. He is one of the worst directors I've ever seen of modern films. His cinematography is unbearably bad.
5 is the one with Dolores Umbridge, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's maybe.
The problem with 5 is when I read Order of the Phoenix, I pictured Nancy Pelosi as Umbridge. And so anyone else, I couldn't picture. I know it's a weird thing to do as a child.
You picture everyone as Nancy Pelosi or Janet Reno. That's the thing that's scary about you. Or B. Arthur.
Leave B. Arthur out of
this. That's probably better than mine. I always refer to her, to my wife, as the British Hillary Clinton. So she's probably nicer than me. So
let me interrupt here. I want to finish off Ryan's comment. You see it, Matthew? He was talking to me. And it starts off with "your," and what he meant is "you're exactly right, Matt. Screw the Snyder Cut." That's what he meant to type. He lost connection, obviously. Bird Box. Did you love? There it is. You're awesome, Matt. I agree with everything you want. All right, let me ask you, Adam. Did you see Bird Box?
That's the one where
Sandra
they're like,
Bullock.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yay! Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up.
For what?
Oh no, it was okay. Yeah,
For Bird Box?
Yeah, I enjoyed Bird Box.
I didn't see it.
I just want to see if it's unpopular to hate that movie. Jeremy says thumbs down. Okay.
It's just
it's the poor man's Quiet Place.
Yes,
is what it is. But as a Netflix movie goes, I thought it was pretty neat. It caught my attention. It was interesting, and I watched it twice, which is, if you get me to watch a movie twice, and I was still engaged in it. I like the idea of it. I like Quiet Place better. But it's like the what were those 2 movies that came out? Deep Impact and Armageddon back in the mid-90s.
Yeah,
those.
Deep Impact's the poor man's Armageddon. And Bird Box is a little bit better than that, but I enjoyed it. Is it the best thing in the world? Absolutely not.
Speaking of Bird Box, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Deep Impact, as I recall, is slightly better than Armageddon because it doesn't have the awful Aerosmith song in it. Yes, that's garbage.
No. With Armageddon, I don't want to miss a thing.
Shut up. I hate that song. Steve Tyler's vocal cords like destroyed. You listen to "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" or any of their stuff from the 90s. That is what vocal cords sound like after you've screamed for 2 decades.
Oh yeah, man. Aerosmith's my favorite band of all time.
Adam, what were you going to say? Because I'm way more interested in what you were going to say than Jeremy.
Well, I was gonna say was speaking of Bird Box the other day, I saw a meme online that showed Sandra Bullock with the blindfold on, like pretending to ignore these direct TV salesmen in Walmart, and it starts off with them saying just like, "Hi, what internet or what cable provider do you subscribe to?" And it's just like you're pretending to ignore them. And I just thought that was hilarious. Do you guys get that?
Wasn't
And in Walmart,
we get that at Best Buy, or we used to in California.
there's like some Walmarts out here in Oklahoma where like if you see them buy
Same here.
electronics, I just like walk away and I'm just
They
like,
have
"Yo,
their little booth. It doesn't matter. The thing is, I used to sell DirecTV for 5 years, so
no."
I had one.
Sorry.
I had
Yeah,
one
I
of
know,
those
I
guys
just saw 'em.
follow me to the bathroom and waited
Say
for me
what?
to come out to talk to me.
Oh,
Someone followed you
ooh.
to the bathroom.
One
I
of
thought
those
you were.
DirecTV
I thought
guys.
you. I know what you're talking about now, but I thought you were like, okay, guys, I'm going to take the camera with me. We're going to go to the bathroom together. I was like, I don't know, Matthew, that's not a good idea.
Dude, that's something I would do. We do a can rant together. Matt, you've done that with me before.
Okay, hold on. Quali says, I once said that I like the Roland Emmerich Godzilla. Is that the 1999 Godzilla?
98.
Zilla.
Uh,
Is
Yeah,
that 98?
Zilla's
Is that the 98 Godzilla?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
best
they,
Godzilla movie ever made. I'm being honest there. I really
Hey,
love that movie.
I agree. I've said the same thing before on this channel.
I will say this: it's the best American-made Godzilla movie.
I remember going to get to
That's
Taco Bell to get the cup holder that sits inside the in
I
your
remember
window.
that too.
Adam,
Yeah.
did you like Godzilla 98?
As a monster movie, yes. As a Godzilla movie, not so much.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'll still watch it. I mean, I like the Godzilla animated series that came afterwards. I thought that was
Oh
pretty cool.
yeah, I forgot
I saw
about
that.
that.
I saw it at vintage stock the other day for like $6, and I was just like, "Ooh, I should have bought that just for collector's sake." So
Yeah.
Do you
let me-
all remember the Puff Daddy Jimmy Page "Come With Me"
Yeah, man. I had the soundtrack.
rapping at Godzilla and he's flying with doves?
I'm pissed because I have Amazon Music Unlimited and that song is not on there.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
There's like a big copyright thing. It's not on anything.
I have the
I hate
CD. I have the CD.
All American Cornbread. Son of Godzilla is the best. You're all wrong. That's
Son of
great.
Godzilla. Oh, right, yeah.
Great. Okay, let me ask you this one. What TV show that's not on DVD or streaming that you would like to see? Do you have one like that? That's just not out.
Oh, that's just not out. I can't think of one. I've never seen X-Files, and I started watching that recently.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's on Hulu, but that
It
doesn't
is.
count.
I started watching it when it was on Netflix. I didn't make it very far. I was in season 2 when they took it off. And
Oh,
I was
really?
like, I was falling in love with that show because it was tacky, but it was like that comfortable, like, oh, I feel like I'm in the 90s again, like everything they do, they got their guns out and they're always like their fingers on the trigger. And you're like, guys, slow down. It's so like unrealistic, but it was such a fun show to watch whenever I was watching that one and a half seasons, and they took it off and it made me upset.
Yeah, me and my wife saw the first episode the other night, and I was just like, I want to finish this. It's kind of like the '90s version of Supernatural or something.
Only
That
with
is great. Waldorf strikes again.
Like,
That's so funny. Okay, so all right, so that's Matthew. Do you have one that you wish was out?
No,
More common
when it
to
comes
TV
to
shows?
shows, no. Like we said earlier, in the Ghostbusters talk, the real Ghostbusters, they have that cartoon available on digital and streaming now.
And that's the one you were wanting for.
But the thing that I want the most to be released in any format, in a Blu-ray format, would be the movie Dragon Slayer. It's released on digital. It's released on DVD.
It needs a Blu-ray.
Not a Blu-ray.
Jeremy?
The Tick. The Tick, they need to get over that lawsuit and they need to get the Tick animated.
All the episodes. Because they come out with a limited edition, but it's missing a lot of episodes with that writer.
It's missing like a third of its episodes.
Mhm. And some of the best episodes, too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they need to. I used to have.
Since you said Tick, oh, wait, Matthew wants to say
I got
something.
one. I got one. I don't know if it ever has been released. And if I found it, if it has been released, if I find it, then, I'm an idiot. But Salute Your Shorts. Do you guys remember that show?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon?
Is that the one where
Wade-
that like at the camp or something? Or
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
You're a Nickelodeon kid. That my wife is
Yeah.
too. She would agree with you. Are you afraid of the dark?
Yes.
Oh,
Are You
yeah.
Afraid of the Dark?
Uh,
I love that show.
She has that. She has that on the burned rip. You know, at the cons they sell those things.
Yeah.
She has that one. She has. I can't remember what the other burned ones are. Muppet Babies.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that.
And then
Hey
she has
Dude.
another one, but I watched me some Hey Dude back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
I was not a Nickelodeon kid, but I did watch Hey Dude. Mine is kind of awkward. It's kind of weird, but the Dukes of Hazzard had a spinoff called Enos for one season. They spun off the famous deputy who came back later on when his show failed. That has never, ever, ever seen the light of day. You can't find it on the, black market either, the little shadow copy market. It's just hard to find, even though they reference it in the Dukes of Hazzard movie. Because in Enos, he starts off by writing Daisy a letter, and he's basically narrating what his adventure was in that episode to Daisy. Well, in the movie, he goes, "I wrote you a bunch of letters, I just never sent them." That's why Daisy never responded back to him, because he just never had the guts to send them. And that was a joke they put in the TV movie, because people were wondering why Daisy never responded back to Enos. And they made the joke why. And I was like, man, and ever since we didn't get that joke. And then I did some back study and I realized he had his own TV show, and I've been looking for it ever since. So that's one I'd love to see one day. It's probably not that good. Did you know, this is so weird, Dukes of Hazzard, random knowledge, they had a crossover episode with a show called Alice, where Boss Hogg and Enos, and Boss Hogg tries to buy Alice's restaurant. Alice was a sitcom or whatever, and it starred them. I was like, wait, what? It's weird. There's all these weird, like Magnum PI had a Simon and Simon crossover and a Murder, She Wrote crossover.
Oh yes, I just watched the Murder, She Wrote crossover the other
It's
day.
fun.
Did you know that there's a novelization series for the Murder, She Wrote?
Yes.
Oh, obviously, that's money, man.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, you'd think that they'd be her books that she writes in the show, but they're not, and I found that very disappointing.
It would have been good.
I watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote and MASH as a kid, mainly because, like, with MASH, like, I went to, as I said in the chat earlier, that I went to school with the guy who played Radar, his kids, when I was in private school for a short period of time. They were like in high school, like late middle school, early high school, and I was like in kindergarten. But like I got to meet him, and I don't remember anything of it.
Look at this Men in Black animated series.
Yeah.
Did they not sell the Topsy's Clone Wars on DVD anymore? I have them.
seen it
No,
recently.
They don't sell anything that isn't Dave Filoni
Oh well, yeah.
because ego, and it isn't on Disney Plus, and I'm very angry.
I agree with Brady that the holiday special Droids, Clone Wars, Ewoks need to be back. They need to be on Disney Plus, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that they aren't.
And Chris saw Alice.
They actually do have the original Clone Wars. I don't know. I mean, Matthew, you may have heard about it. Vintage stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they have. They had it there that I saw it.
Wait,
It's
what
a-
is that? What's that called?
Vintage stock.
It's a
Go
story.
ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
You're good. They sell used movies, TV shows, games. Sometimes they've got comics. They got a bunch of comics.
Can y'all look for
Video
some
games?
Can you look for some audio dramas of Highlander for me?
That might be harder to find.
Oh,
Maybe
dang
Half
it!
Books might have those, but
Yeah, Half Price Books. They've got a little spot where they have. Which do you have?
We
Half
don't
Price?
have them here. They're in Texas. They're not in Louisiana yet. But if you guys go and you make it through the audio section, CD section, maybe you can ask them.
Yeah,
They're by
I'll
Big
look-
Finish. There's
I'll look-
5 of them. 4 in season 1. The season 2 is just one CD with 4 stories in it.
Okay, so it's CD, not cassette.
It's CD, yeah, because it came out in 2009, and then season 2 came out in 2011, and it has the voices of the TV show people.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Yeah, but Big Finish is popular for doing this for. They do audio dramas for Doctor Who, and that's what they're big. That's what they're big for now, because Doctor Who's all the rage. But back in 2009, and then again in 2011, they did just a 4-episode season 1 and a 4-episode all-in-one season 2, and it's starring the 4 Horsemen. Holy cow! I gotta have that.
Dude. Did any of you listen to the William Gibson Alien 3 audio drama on Audible that dropped last year? It had Lance Henriksen in it and Michael Biehn. It was the William Gibson script for Alien 3 that they never made, which is significantly better than Alien 3.
General Kenobi.
All American Cornbread. The Disney Plus version will replace the Ewoks with porgs in the Blu-ray. It's funny. Chris, if there happens to be copies in the digital underworld, point me in the direction. At this point, the Big Finish just lost the rights. That's why they can't reprint it. But Highlander's not reprinting this either because it's kind of a dead franchise. So I'm just kind of out of luck until I can find it. But I can't find it even downloadable on the internet. Usually you can find a little spot that says, "Hey, I download it's in the zip file." Yeah. It's not even like that.
I recently asked these Ghostbuster groups on Facebook. I was like, "Hey, anybody know where I can find the music from the real Ghostbusters? Because the music's actually pretty cool. It's got some fun stuff in there." And everybody just sends me links to YouTube, and it's like, guys, I'm not talking about that.
You're talking about a physical copy.
I want the files. Like it's someone sent me. I know they're being nice, but someone's like private messages me like, "Hey, here's the link." Like, not YouTube.
I haven't seen him anywhere. No,
I don't think they actually released any of that stuff to be purchased anywhere.
If I ever come across them, though, I'll let you know. But...
Buzz Lightyear of the Star Command. I never watched that.
Oh God, I forgot that was a show. It's not that great.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember the pilot episode. You remember it came out on the big clamshell VHS.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a movie. I was so excited for it, and then I watched it, and I was like,
Never saw it. Never even heard of it.
It was in this era when every time Disney would make a movie, they make a TV show. So like you had your Little Mermaid failed TV show, you had your Tarzan failed TV show, which Tarzan was wild, like just strange. God, what else? I mean, you have Aladdin had a show. I think that was kind of successful. I don't remember that.
Okay, so. Sorry to interrupt here. I have been on my 30-day diet since January 1st, folks. As you know, well, it is officially the 31st now, but it'll be tomorrow when I officially get off my diet. I was going to 30-day diet after the holidays because I eat everything and anything, and I, do a little fasting period in a way. It is a strict diet for 30 days. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up to a big bowl of Twinkie cereal.
What about the Twinkie?
You're welcome, America. We make Twinkie cereal. Now, the only thing is, this should come with those white marshmallows to signify the cream that's in the Twinkies. Adam, I see you looking at this. Yes, it is beautiful.
They had a Twinkie flavored ice cream at Target one time.
And I've had it. It's pretty good. It's shockingly good.
Wow.
I was surprised how good it was.
Did you have it too?
I did, yeah.
Gosh.
But I said, Twinkie cereal, that sounds disgusting. I got to have it. And then I tried it, and it doesn't really taste like it's weird. I mean, yeah, it's Twinkie, but it actually tastes pretty good.
It's one of those moments you just like, gosh dang it, I love this.
When I saw this when I went on my diet. The day I went on my diet, I was like, shut up. So I bought me a box. Now, there is another box of cereal that's out right now, and I'm going to try this one too, but it looks a little weird, but I get any kind of weird cereal. Thank you, Jacob. Hershey Kisses.
Oh no!
Interesting.
Now, can you blow my picture up here?
Yeah.
Because this looks like the poop emoji.
It sure does.
Like feces.
They should make this poop emoji.
Yeah.
Say poop emoji. I'm sure they didn't. And have it underneath here. Eat beep. Seriously.
Poop emoji. The cat box.
I mean, with that, it looks like it should have the slogan. Looks the same going in as it does coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Here's here. Can you blow me up again?
Yeah. Let me get it.
That looks like dog food.
First thing to do at breakfast. Then hit the commode and make your own bowl. Kids. It goes from this porcelain bowl to another porcelain bowl.
From ceramic to porcelain.
Ceramic.
Oh my gosh.
It's the most American thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I know this one. Shoot, are you kidding me? I said the Pledge of Allegiance once I saw the box and it's right in the aisle.
I'm gonna get it.
I felt so daggum American.
Gotta get a close up of that one too.
Yeah, look at this. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Oh wait. There's stuff on the back too. Okay, hold on. Oh, that is the breakfast. Screw Wheaties. This is the breakfast of champions right
I
there.
expect a review on this stuff tomorrow.
Should I just turn the camera on and do my review of each one?
Yeah.
I actually saw at Walmart, and I got them for my wife. They were mint chocolate Twinkies.
Yeah, they make all different kinds of Twinkies, and I'm a fan of the original Twinkie. However, I will never turn down a Twinkie. So whatever type Twinkie cereal there is. I mean, seriously, that's what it looks like. The marketing team is like, they're insane. Because I looked at that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Then I went, wait, is that the poop emoji? I went, no way did they make this. And it looks disgusting.
Oh, one of my favorite cereal boxes.
I mean, in what world does that look appetizing? This could be dog cereal for all we know. Look. Meaty, yum, 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 yum. That does not look like a delicious Hershey Kiss.
Like Life cereal. They have original. They had cinnamon, and I think they had a chocolate at one time. And the packaging, original, had like the white family. The cinnamon had like a Mexican family, and the chocolate had the black family. And it's like somebody is a little trickster up there at the Quaker farm, wherever they make this cereal. It's just they're like, huh? All right, that one slipped through.
Out of all,
Brady,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I was going to answer a question, but you go ahead.
I was gonna say I cannot wait in the morning to tell my wife, like, you're not gonna believe what I did last night.
I know. Mine's probably waiting up for me. Like, are you coming to bed?
I just had the realization we all have blue microphones, but like the different like ranges of styles of blue microphones.
Yeah, I have Snowball.
I have, what is it, the Blue SL. This is what the entry level for when it becomes an XLR mic. So I just converted over to USB so I can put it through my my mixing board.
Yeah, I used a lot of those at my college music recording studio. I like them. So
to Jacob's question, yes, I would. To Brady's question, I would, but I'm gonna be eating these early in the morning because I got to get up early, and I don't think I'll be at my wittiest if I turn on that camera.
Wake up.
But I will eventually. I think I might do the review on it. That'd be fun. When I'm eating it, I'm gonna be like this. So it's pretty good. Of course, I haven't had sugar in like a month, so anything is good right now.
Hey, you might see that cereal pop up at the state fairs too. You know, like
fried.
Roll it in cream and
yeah.
deep fry it. Cereal.
This is the thing that you pour over some marshmallows and heat up in your microwave. I think the most disgusting way to eat these things.
Yeah.
Have this mushroom goo
ribbon on them. That's the ex-champions right there.
That's I need to move out of California if I'm picking up that habit.
Jameson here.
There you go. There you
I
go.
think at our state fair in Oklahoma, we have chocolate covered fried bacon.
Oh man.
Right on. I'd try anything once.
I
tried the what was it? The Halloween Whopper, the black bun.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how they make it black? I'm not kidding. They inject a ton of green dye in it until it turns black. How do I know it's green dye? 12 hours later, you'll find out why too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It looked like the Incredible Hulk had come to visit my house.
Sorry, I'm watching my baby monitor. She's kind of squirming.
That's good.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, I have one daughter.
One daughter. Okay.
How old? Adam?
9 months.
I have a 9 month. I have 2 9 months. I have twins.
Oh, congratulations.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're 9 months too. They turned 9 months actually this past week.
What's their birthday, if you don't mind me asking?
April 25th.
Mine was born like a couple of weeks before that. So.
Okay. Oh, awesome. So about 2 weeks apart then.
Week 2, yeah.
Week or two? Okay, awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's
It's a
fun
new
life. Yeah.
Each of them now have 2 teeth at their bottom. One crawls all everywhere. The other one's like, screw that. I'm sitting right here. If I cry enough, Dad's gonna come get me.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all 3 of those in my daughter. Yeah, 2 teeth. If I cry, Dad will come hit me up. So yeah, it's
That's awesome.
fun. Yeah, I love
Dude,
it.
that's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. You as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt's already had like 14, so I can't congratulate him anymore.
3,
14, 3.
5, 2, and 1.
Jeremy has 3. He just doesn't know about them yet. Matt's Serial Universe. Oh, hey, true story. Someone went on the my buddy went on what's it called, 23andMe, and they update your family tree if they get other information coming in. Well, his family tree got updated the other day. He said, "Hey, we went out to lunch. He went, hey, I want to show you my they updated my 23andMe." So I'm looking, back in his family tree. I said, "Okay, what am I supposed to be looking at?" He went, "No, look further down," and it said he had 4 kids. Well, this dude only has 3 kids.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry. He thought someone had hacked his account and added another daughter. But it turns out, yep, he had another. He didn't even know. She didn't even know because she turned in her 23andMe to find her half brother. But then found out that her daddy was not her daddy. So that's crazy. Matthew, what's your favorite Aerosmith album?
Well, Chris, it's actually their first album, Aerosmith. It's my favorite.
That's mine too.
Does Big Ones count? I know that's a best of.
It could.
If that's cheating, that's fine. You don't like Toys in the Attic?
I like it.
Oh no! I like what was one of their 90s ones that came out? The Midnight, the what?
9 Lives.
Grip, which is the one with the cow and with the pierced udder.
That was a pretty popular one.
Yeah,
I agree that the red. You're talking about the red Aerosmith album, right, Matthew?
No, it's got the clouds behind them. It's one of those classic like 70s picture of the band with inserted into another photo with the sky behind them.
How did he know you liked Aerosmith?
What?
How did Christopher know you liked Aerosmith?
I don't remember how we brought it up, but it was brought up of
oh, you talked to him.
We talked with Armageddon discussion.
Yeah, why does this matter?
Okay. Well, I just want to know. I just,
and I was like, Aerosmith's my favorite band ever.
You're acting like you've been betrayed.
Yeah, he's my friend. Matthew, I'm going to tell you who you can be friends with and who you can't be friends with.
Oh, yes. I like Christopher's comment there. Palpatine doing 23andMe. Yeah.
What's kind of weird is I kind of want to see that because I wish somehow we can explain who did Palpatine fall in love with or get married to or have babies with or something.
Yeah.
You didn't hear?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Porg.
Maybe. That's what I heard.
That's true.
I thought it was another POR.
Or, according to Solo, it could have been Lando.
That'd be now that's a Jerry Springer episode right there.
We don't know. Let's see. Who's your daddy, Ray? It's she.
Do you guys remember Weird Al? His Jerry Springer song?
Oh, vaguely, yeah.
You don't remember?
It's been a while. I don't know, and I like Weird Al. I don't remember the Jerry Springer song.
Oh yeah, it's on that album, Running with Scissors.
I love that album.
You don't remember the Jerry
It's been a while. It's been a while. That album.
It's been 1 week. That song.
You talk about a quick. Oh yeah. Now I know. You talk about a quick turnaround for a song. When episode 1 came out, that album came out too, and it had the episode. And I don't know how he did that, but he recorded it super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Must have seen a preview and released that album at the perfect time.
Not even that. He had to have had inside conversation with somebody.
I think he previewed it with a bunch of celebrities.
Well, because he also knew the ages too.
I know. Hey, I mean, it was because when that came out, so did the movie. I was thinking, how did he do this? And it was such a popular song. Smart Move by Weird Al. Running with Scissors is a very popular album for me.
Yeah, I love that one.
I always liked his parodies that were more the style of an artist as opposed to a direct parody of a song like Dare to Be Stupid off of the Transformers soundtrack, where it's a parody of the Devo formula. I just thought those were like fascinating.
Yeah, hold on. Here, Palpatine does a 23andMe, and here's what he sees. He goes, Ray, huh? Wait, there's something on the back end here. Ken? Who's Ken? Triclops? Oh, no. If you get that joke. Jedi Prince fan. Adam, if you want to read something that's absolutely glorious, the Jedi Prince series, Star Wars Jedi Prince series.
Jedi Prince.
Jedi Prince.
Yeah, Glove of Darth Vader.
Ooh, those covers look great. Just focus on the covers.
Yeah.
Not the content.
The interior art's pretty nice too, as I recall.
Like I said, I'm halfway kidding in my reviews of those, but I did enjoy them. It is ridiculous. It is campy, but they're fun.
I honestly, I think they're probably one of the more inventive kids series.
Christopher Palpatine found a thermal exhaust port about 2 meters wide and unleashed the force.
Oh my gosh.
And here's an interesting one. Wasn't Palpatine having a wife part of George Lucas's Underworld scripts?
Oh,
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
I never really knew anything about the scripts.
I just knew it was like an idea. I didn't even realize they wrote scripts to Underworld.
Oh my god, this guy, All American Cornbread.
Yep. You guys got jokes.
Getting very Shadows of the Empire type humor coming in.
Yeah. Shadow rapey there, guys. But hey, I think now would be a good time to go ahead and wrap things up.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining in.
Thank you.
Hey, Adam, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where they could find you?
Well, mine is called AD Bryant. It's just you can click on my my picture there. I started a podcast recently. We call it the Nerd Pub Podcast. My brother-in-law and I recorded the first episode, and I just finished recording the second episode with my cousin. I hope to have that up soon. So
awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. And Jeremy, you're on the
Stupid Chainsaw Productions.
Heck yeah. And Matt, he's Matt Wilkins. He's not really the Geek's Kitchen, so if you're gonna try to find him, it's not the Geek's Kitchen. Like, I don't know. At work, some folks watched my last stream with Matt, and he put the Geek's Basement, and they're like, "Hey, I tried looking for the Geek's Basement, and I couldn't find him anywhere. What is that? What his name is?" It's like, no, it's Matt Wilkins. He's a trickster. So,
hey everyone, check out my channel, RK Outpost. I post stuff on Expanded Universe, my Sleeveless Tea collection.
Yeah, that's a
how much
tea collection.
How much? Yeah, I show off my guns whenever I can. I love candy corn. I hate the Snyder Cut, and
he loves the last the Rise of Skywalker, right?
I love all the new sequels.
And you eat Twinkies for breakfast. So.
Yeah.
And I eat Twinkies for breakfast. And yeah, that's who I am. Check me out.
Matt's such a trickster.
Except there's this guy with like 300 subscribers that made me famous. So okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Get us out of here.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. And if I could hit the end broadcast button without it glitching.